Chapter 23:18. Although Xiao Kaiyu and Feng Luo started to call each other brothers, Feng Luo was already disappointed in Xiao Kaiyu. He didn't expect Xiao Kaiyu to say these words today. If Xiao Kaiyu didn't say these words himself, then Feng Luo wouldn't have believed it. Feng Luo realized that everything Su Yin said to him was true. Xiao Kaiyu wasn't a trustworthy person, he didn't have any credibility at all. Feng Luo realized that if he still blindly believed in Xiao Kaiyu, then things would become very complicated. Everything had a limit, and this limit was very difficult to grasp. He had no choice but to believe in Xiao Kaiyu, but he also couldn't completely rely on him. Today, Feng Shui originally thought that even if Su Yin could help him solve the problem, he would still help Xiao Kaiyu to the end because of his promise. But now he realized that there was no need for this promise to exist anymore. Xiao Kaiyu had lied to him from the beginning, and it wasn't a fair trade. The snow ape was in Xiao Kaiyu's hands. Now Feng Luo understood that he was facing a threat, and not a trust. This completely overturned Feng Luo's thoughts, and made him completely disappointed. This wasn't what Feng Luo wanted, it wasn't what he thought it should be. This kind of deception was despicable, and it deserved to die. Feng Luo, don't think too much. What belongs to you will always belong to you. Xiao Kaiyu said, "Don't worry, I won't do anything to you just because of a small mistake. As long as you can do what you promised me, I'll let you happily return to the place where you belong." Feng Luo's smile stiffened. "Then let's wait and see. What I want is this kind of confidence from you, this kind of promise from you." Xiao Kaiyu said, "As long as you can give me this kind of promise, my heart will be at ease." Feng Luo didn't know what kind of promise he made to Xiao Kaiyu. His so-called waiting and seeing was to see the final result. Regardless of whether Su Yin would really help him solve the problem, he wanted to see the final result. He wanted to see what kind of things Xiao Kaiyu would do in the end. This was Feng Lu's first time dealing with others, so he wanted to see what integrity was. He wanted to see if he really shouldn't trust others so easily. He still couldn't understand what Su Yin had said to him last night. Perhaps only when Xiao Kaiyu gave him the answer would he be able to unravel the mystery. Did he trust the wrong person, or was he overthinking everything? All of this was what Feng Luo wanted to find out. What he needed to do now was to find out everything. As long as he understood all of this, he would finally understand how to deal with people. Dealing with people was really complicated. The trust between people was often very complicated. Feng Lu really couldn't tell the difference between real and fake. He preferred to deal with apes because they did not know how to lie. No matter what kind of reaction they had, they would show it on their faces. There was no hypocrisy, no hidden daggers in their smiles. Everything was the most genuine reaction. Unlike the current Xiao Kaiyu, although he was smiling at him, his heart was itching to tear him apart. All of this would only happen when people communicated with each other. Even if we don't leave this place, we need to at least have enough water and food. This wasn't the first time Chang Emo had brought this up. We need to prepare enough food and water before we can make long-term preparations. Otherwise, we won't be able to hold on for long. I know we need these things, but if we go out now, we'll easily expose ourselves to the enemy. Kangkong said, "If we don't talk too much and don't waste our energy, we should be able to maintain our energy and calories for 2 days. Chang Emo was completely opposed to this. "We can indeed ensure that our energy and calories are enough for us to survive, but we can't guarantee that if we run into the enemy 2 days later, we won't have enough energy to fight back." Chang Emo is right, Nian Yi said. "We do need to maintain our energy. If the enemy really comes looking for us, we'll be in great danger." "You're right, but if we go out now, there's a possibility that we'll run into them at any time," Gu Li said. "We can't take the risk, just in case." "I'll go, I'm a girl. I'm the least likely to be exposed," Chang Emo said. "I'll definitely be able to bring the things back." Kangkong refused immediately. "No, it's too dangerous for you to go alone. I can't let you take the risk." "But I'm the most suitable person," Chang Emo said. "If I don't go, who else can?" "Even if you want to go, you have to let me go with you," Nian Yi said. He definitely couldn't let Chang Emo do such a dangerous thing alone. One person's goal is always smaller than two people's. You guys usually know this much better than me. Why can't you understand it now? Chang Mo sighed helplessly. Can't you guys be a little more mature? Can't you see my growth? The four men were stunned by Chang Mo's words. In the end, the other three looked at Kangkong. Even if they had to make a decision, Kangkong had to be the one to say it. This was something that no one knew how to do. Kangkong was really in a difficult position now. You guys are making it difficult for me. What's so difficult about it? Chang Mo said. Just arrange for me to go and order me to carry out this shopping mission. That'll solve all the problems. You've already arranged everything for me. If I don't want you to do this, I'm afraid you'll be unhappy again, right? Kangkong was helpless. I really don't trust you to do this alone. Chang Mo, trust me, it's really too dangerous. Taiwan Island is smaller than we thought. Our goal is bigger than we thought. The Three Lotus Association is stronger than we thought. Moreover, that Su Yin is harder to deal with than we thought. Chang Mo only said one sentence to Kangkong. I'm also more useful than you think. I'm not someone who can't do anything. In the end, Kangkong couldn't convince Chang Mo. He could only agree to let Chang Mo do what she wanted. Before Chang Mo left, they repeatedly reminded her to pay attention to their surroundings. She had to go to a small supermarket and not attract anyone's attention. If something happened, there was only one word to say: run. Chang Mo nodded and agreed one by one. Only then did they feel reassured and let Chang Mo leave. This was also a last resort. They really needed enough supplies. Without enough supplies, they wouldn't be able to last long. Now, Su Yin and the Three Lotus Association's goal was to fight a protracted battle with them. They had to be prepared for such a battle. If they weren't prepared, they would only face defeat in the end. Chang Mo left carefully and followed the instructions seriously. He went to an area that was not in the same district and found a small supermarket where everything could be bought. After careful consideration, Chang Mo walked into the supermarket. Her goal was very clear. They were all things with high calories. These things could quickly replenish the body's calories and protein. This was because the place they were hiding in wasn't the kind of place where they could survive in the wild. Water was a problem, and they couldn't find enough food. Therefore, not only did Chang Mo have to get food, she also had to get enough water. Other than that, she also bought 5 large water bottles. This was because they needed to be prepared. If they could find a clean water source, water bottles were the most convenient thing. After buying so many things in such a large quantity, the boss of the small supermarket really hit the jackpot. When Chang Mo pushed a cart full of things out to pay the bill, the boss felt a headache coming. Miss, you bought so many things. How many people are camping here? Pay the bill. Don't talk so much nonsense. Chang Mo said. I'm eating alone. Can't I prepare more? Yes, of course. The boss shrugged helplessly. As long as you pay, I don't have any objections even if you empty my supermarket. But some of the meat products you bought only have a shelf life of 1 week. I'm worried that you won't be able to finish them. Chang Mo's expression didn't change. That's my business. It has nothing to do with you. Chapter 23:19. Yes. This is my own problem. It has nothing to do with you. The supermarket owner said. I've already reminded you. Don't eat expired food. If that day comes, don't come looking for trouble with me. Blame me for not reminding you. Are you doing business or not? If you are, quickly pay the bill. Chang Mo was losing her patience. This guy was too slow. He had no intention of paying the bill. If you don't want to do business, I don't want these things. Right away. Beauty, don't have such a bad temper. Harmony brings wealth and beauty. The supermarket owner began to pay Chang Mo's bill. Every item had a price. For some reasons, it was hard to calculate the price. The supermarket owner had no choice but to enter the number on the barcode to calculate the price. The supermarket owner's eyes seemed to be blurred. He couldn't see clearly and kept making mistakes. Like this, a lot of time was wasted. Just as Chang Mo was losing her patience, the supermarket owner's phone rang. He picked up the phone and made an apologetic gesture to the angry Chang Mo. Have you arrived? Okay, everything is normal. The supermarket owner smiled and answered the phone. And okay, then I don't have anything else to do? Oh, I'll be done soon. The supermarket owner hung up the phone. Chang Emo flew into a rage out of humiliation. How do you do business? Don't you know that the customer is God? You can pay for half an hour. How much longer do you need to finish? After being scolded, the supermarket owner nodded repeatedly. It was as if he had cheated. Soon the remaining items were finished. The whole process took half an hour. Normally, it would only take 3 to 5 minutes to finish. After paying, Chang Emo walked out of the supermarket with 3 huge shopping bags. Just as she stepped out of the door, a familiar voice entered her ears. You bought so many things. Do you need my help? You look very heavy. Su Yun stood at the side of the supermarket entrance with a smile. After Chang Emo came out, he casually said to her. Chang Mo's reaction was very fast. She threw the 3 shopping bags at Su Yun. If it wasn't for Su Yun's early reaction, she might have really been smashed by her. A mess of food and water flew all over the place. After throwing everything away, Chang Emo immediately ran away. She clearly remembered King Kong's words. If you can't win, run. He was running for his life. Of the 36 stratagems, escape was the best strategy. Chang Emo knew Su Yun's strength too well. She had fought with Su Yun before. Therefore, she was very clear that she was no match for Su Yun. There was no comparison at all. Now, as long as Chang Emo could escape, it would be her victory. Just as Chang Emo started to run away, she started to understand. The supermarket's boss wasn't slow, nor was his service bad. He was just stalling for time. She wanted to stall for time until Su Yun arrived and blocked her. Chang Emo was truly convinced. The 3 Lotus Association's ability was too great. They could even monitor a small supermarket in such a place. Chang Emo was really lucky. Her luck was really too good. This supermarket was really opened by a member of the 3 Lotus Association. Moreover, this person was one of the people who went to Fisherman Street with Su Yun and Wu Yuandong. He had seen Chang Emo before. Usually this person wasn't in the supermarket. However, his father was sick and had to go to the hospital for an injection. His mother was accompanying him in bed, so there was no one watching over the supermarket. Therefore, he was asked to watch over it for a day. Who knew that after watching the supermarket for a day, he would see the person Su Yun and Wu Yuandong were looking for? When Chang Emo entered the supermarket, he went out and called Wu Yuandong. Wu Yuandong told him to think of a way to stall her and wait for them to arrive. After putting down the phone, he immediately rushed over from Taipei with Su Yun. That was why Chang Emo was trapped in the supermarket. If they had arrived 10 minutes later, Chang Emo would have already left because he couldn't stand it anymore. The timing was just right. Su Yun naturally wouldn't let Chang Emo leave. When Chang Emo tried to escape, Wu Yuandong immediately blocked her path. Chang Emo knew that she couldn't continue fighting, and immediately changed her direction. However, this time, she was directly blocked by Su Yun. Su Yun pulled Chang Emo in front of him and pressed him against the car with a loud bang. Old friend, we meet again. You don't have to leave without saying goodbye, right? Su Yun smiled. Shouldn't we find a place to sit down and have a cup of tea or coffee? We can have a good chat. Chang Emo said coldly. I have nothing to talk about with you. Today, I'm in your hands. You can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Don't be so righteous, Su Yun smiled. If I say that I want to be the groom tonight, will you let me do whatever I want? You dare. Chang Emo glared fiercely at Su Yun. Su Yun stared at her without blinking. He slowly approached Chang Emo. When the tip of his nose almost touched Chang Mo's, Chang Emo couldn't take it anymore. If you're a man, then kill me. Give me a quick death. Whether I'm a man or not is not up to you, Su Yun said. You're in my hands. Whether I kill you or not, it's also not up to you. Don't you dare humiliate me. Chang Emo said angrily. As long as you tell me where they are, and let them give me their things intact, I'll naturally give you to them intact, Su Yun said. This is a very fair trade. Chang Emo snorted. In your dreams. Is one life not enough? Su Yun said, then nodded to himself. Indeed. Human life might really be worthless in the eyes of you Heaven's Eye people. Don't talk so much nonsense. Chang Emo said. If you want to kill me, then give me a quick death. Su Yun shook his head. No, I want to see if human lives are worthless in the eyes of people like you. Or is it that other people's lives are worthless, but your own lives are valuable? Maybe your life is really valuable. If I kill you, wouldn't it be too wasteful? Chang Emo regretted it so much that her intestines turned green. If she didn't come out to buy these things, if she would rather eat some insects and ants with them, then there wouldn't be this trouble now. You damned bastard. Chang Ma cursed angrily. She hoped that she could infuriate Su Yun and make Su Yun kill her directly. This was the result she wanted the most right now. No matter what you say, I'll keep you alive. Su Yun said. If such a beautiful girl is wasted by me like this, many people will scold me for recklessly wasting God's gift. Don't worry, I won't let you die. I'll take care of you and let you live well. Chang Emo stared at Su Yun angrily. You want to imprison me? Impossible. Whether it's possible or not, we'll know once we try, Su Yun said. I believe your people will be anxious if they can't wait for you. Chang Emo screamed hysterically. She wanted to break free from Su Yun's control, but it was all in vain. She couldn't break free from Su Yun's control. Don't waste your energy, Su Yun said. This isn't the first time we've fought. Today, you have zero chance of escaping from me. Wu Yuandong had already ordered people to bring the prepared chains to Chang Emo. Su Yun shook his head. This is not how I treat my guests. This is my old friend. Ha ha ha, and she helped you at Fisherman Street. It's not good for you to treat her like this. Then is she okay? Wu Yuandong was a bit worried. Don't worry, she'll cooperate. Su Yun had already decided to control her personally. He wouldn't give her any chance to escape. With Su Yun controlling her personally, she would be safer than any chains. Wu Yuandong nodded and ordered people to take the chains away. I shouldn't have helped you that day. I shouldn't have let you die in that person's hands. Chang Emo looked at Wu Yuandong unwillingly. Wu Yuandong didn't say anything. He turned his head and pretended he didn't hear anything. Su Yun smiled faintly and said, Chang Emo, there's something wrong with what you're saying. It's not that you want to help him. It's just that you don't want to disturb me when I go down to the sea to retrieve something. Don't flatter the people of Heaven's Eye. I'm clear about what kind of people you are. Chapter 23:20. What's wrong with us? The things that we, Sky's Eyes, have done are things that ordinary people like you wouldn't even dare to imagine. The things that we can face and bear are also things that you wouldn't even dare to imagine. Chang Mo's reaction to Su Yun's disdain was very intense. It was as if Su Yun had touched her reverse scale. She couldn't tolerate Su Yun's disdain at all. Su Yun really didn't expect Chang Emo to have such a reaction. The things that you dare to do, I really don't dare to do. You don't even know how many people were harmed by you in the 2 incidents in Hong Kong and Macau, right? Can you face and bear the consequences? You've always been hiding in the dark. Is that what you call bearing the consequences? Was your primary school language taught by Mr. Excavator? Those people deserved to die. Do you dare to say that they didn't deserve to die? Chang Emo glared at Su Yun. If Su Yun didn't even dare to admit this, then she would really look down on him. Those people did deserve to die, but it wasn't up to Sky's Eyes to deal with them. Su Yun said, this world has laws. This is a civilized society, not a barbaric one. Huaxia has laws, and they don't recognize lynchings. We won't be like India, where the younger sister and the older cousin would be beheaded by the 2 older cousins when they fell in love. Chang Emo sneered. But those people who deserve to die, if we didn't take care of them, they would still be alive, especially those human traffickers. Who knows how many people they would have hurt? Su Yun had to admit that in the depths of his heart, he didn't have much resentment toward Sky's Eyes. Although Su Yun still wouldn't admit it, he really didn't feel that there was anything wrong with Sky's Eyes getting rid of all the human traffickers. After all, these people who traffic children wouldn't be sentenced to death in the end, but the things they did were all death sentences for a family. These people deserve to die, Su Yun had to admit. But in principle, these people should still be dealt with by the law. Lynching was illegal. Everything Heaven's Eye did was lynching. Though all that they had done in accordance with the principles of human nature, it was still not a lynching permitted by the law. They do deserve to die. Su Yun nodded, but before he could continue, Chang Mo cut him off. If there are more buts, then don't continue. I'm not here to listen to you preach. I just want you to know that what Heaven's eyes do isn't that kind of shameful thing. It's that simple. Do you think it's not a crime to lynch people who should have died? Su Yin said. Don't forget that you're doing the same thing as them. You're depriving others of their right to life. You're just as detestable, pitiful, and hateful. Chang Mo took a deep breath. She didn't expect Su Yin to say such words. To be honest, these words really left her speechless. Brother Su Yin, why are you still talking so much nonsense with her? Let them give her something in exchange. If they don't, then let her suffer a little. Sooner or later, she won't be able to take it. Wu Yuandong said. I can see that these people are extremely vicious. Chang Mo looked at Wu Yuandong with disdain. If you have any tricks, then use them. If I cry out in pain, then I'm not the person Heaven's eye sent out. You've already fallen to this point, yet you're still so stubborn. How intoxicating. Wu Yuandong couldn't be bothered to talk to her. Just seal her mouth. She won't reveal any important information to us anyway. Otherwise, she'll be chattering like 500 ducks. Su Yin didn't do that. I'm not the kind of person who likes to deprive others of their rights. Her mouth is on her face. She can say whatever she wants. If I go back now, I'll be quite bored. It's not a bad idea to have someone to talk to on the way back. I'll make you regret it. Chang Mo looked coldly at Su Yin. I advise you to listen to him. I've already made it clear to you. I can't do something like slapping myself in the face. Your rights are your rights. I won't take them away. Su Yin said. Even if it's your freedom, I won't take it away. As long as you give me the thing, I'll send you back unscathed. Chang Mo gave Su Yin a wishful thinking look and ignored Su Yin. However, after I get the thing and return you to Heaven's Eye, we still have a score to settle. Su Yin said. What Heaven's Eye did in Hong Kong and Macau, I'll settle the score with you according to the laws of Huaxia. That depends on whether you have the ability to do so. Chang Mo said. If you want to settle the score, you can come find me at any time. But you'll never get our bola again. Never. That only means that your life isn't worth enough. If your life were worth enough, I'd be able to save the lives of several others, let alone our bola. Su Yin waved his hand and ordered someone to open the car door. Get in the car with me and wait for a good show. With such a tempting bait in front of him, Su Yin would never let it go to waste. Close the supermarket for a few days to avoid any unnecessary trouble. Before Su Yin got into the car, he said to the man in charge of the supermarket, even if it's your parents, don't come to the supermarket for the time being. Wait until the matter is completely resolved. Yes, I understand, Brother Yin. I'll be careful. Wu Yuandong patted the man who did the meritorious deed and said, don't worry, I'll compensate you for all the losses in the supermarket. You've done a great job today, and the president will reward you handsomely when she finds out. We've seen everything you've done. It's my honor to have the opportunity to help. Brother Dong, please don't say that. I didn't do anything. The man knew the rules and was not greedy for credit. It's what I should do. It's nothing. Brother Yin solved the problem. If Brother Yin hadn't come, even 100 of me wouldn't have been able to stop this woman. If you can stop her, you'll have the ability to set up your own sect. Wu Yuandong laughed. I wouldn't dare. I'd never dare to set up my own sect. Wu Yuandong patted him one last time. I'll stop joking with you. We have to go back. You should close the door and leave. Yes, Brother Dong. After capturing one of the members of Sky's Eye, Su Yun's mood soared to the extreme. He knew all too well what this meant. To the other four, Changma was the person they needed to take care of the most. Now that she had fallen into his hands, they wouldn't dare to act rashly. Lin Suyin and Yang Qi's eyes widened when they saw such a big prey being brought back to the Three Lotus Society. What Yang Qi was facing right now was something he didn't even dare to think about. Su Yin actually managed to capture the Sky Eye. This was simply unimaginable. No one in the Hong Kong and Macau police dared to think of capturing Sky's Eye, but it was done by Su Yin just like that. No matter how you looked at it, Su Yun's matter gave Yang Qi an absolute shock. It could even be said that once the news spread, Su Yun would give the whole world a shock. Which country or city in the world wouldn't feel helpless when facing Sky's eye? Just hearing these two words was enough to give a group of people a headache. Shock. Other than shock, there was only shock left. If Su Yun said that he didn't intend to let Sky's eye go from the beginning, Yang Qi's jaw would probably drop. The famous Sky's eye isn't as scary as the legends say. Lin Suyin accepted it relatively quickly. After all, she hadn't seen Sky's eye's ability. Yang Qi knew what Sky's eye did in Hong Kong and Macau. He also knew how tight the net was in Hong Kong and Macau. If Sky's eye could still leave Hong Kong and Macau unscathed, it was definitely extraordinary. On the other hand, Lin Suyin didn't know anything, so it wasn't too shocking. Since she had failed miserably, Changma had nothing else to say. She raised her head arrogantly, completely ignoring everyone else. She was really unconvinced. If she hadn't been tricked by the supermarket people and used such a despicable delaying tactic, she wouldn't have fallen into this trap. Chapter 23-21. I didn't expect her to have such integrity. Let's lock her up with Gu Ming then. Gu Ming is starving to the point of madness. Lin Suyin said. Give him someone who can relieve his boredom now. Isn't my idea particularly benevolent? To be honest, this was not benevolent at all. Su Yun shook his head. If the two of them were locked up together, Gu Ming could be killed if he said something wrong. Chang Mo would not be merciful when killing such people. According to the judgment of the Heaven's Eye, Gu Ming was definitely a person who deserved to die. However, Su Yun had to bring this person to Hong Kong and Macau. Otherwise, he would not be able to answer to the Hong Kong and Macau police. Therefore, he could not let the two of them be locked up together. He could not let Gu Ming starve to death either. Nothing must happen to that person. Su Yun said. If he really starves to death, we will be in trouble too. I know. Lin Suyin said. If I can't even understand such a small matter and can't handle it properly, then I really don't deserve to continue being the young miss of the Three Lotus Association. As long as he doesn't die, Su Yun could not let Yang Qi bring a dead person back. Moreover, Gu Ming was Yang Qi's special superior. It would be easier for Yang Qi to accept him dying under the guns of Hong Kong and Macau law than dying here. All of you deserve to die too. You still have the nerve to say that we, Heaven's Eye, punish people. Aren't you the same? Chang Mo snorted. A bunch of sanctimonious people. Hypocrites are the most despicable. All of you deserve to die. Hearing Chang Mo's words, Lin Suyin refused to back down. Even if we all deserve to die, what can you do? You are already in our hands. Can you put away your annoying arrogance? What right do you have to talk to me like this? These words were a huge blow to Chang Mo. Chang Mo told himself that he should understand the current situation. She was now at the edge of a cliff. It was possible for anyone here to kill her. Su Yun, how do you plan to deal with this person? Lin Suyin said. If you haven't thought about it, you can leave it to me. I have. It's better for me to watch over this person personally. Su Yun said indifferently. She's now our super bait. Without her, I'm afraid those people won't come out obediently. I will arrange for people to spread this news to the entire Great Bend Island in the shortest time possible. Lin Suyin said. I don't believe that those people won't come after hearing this news. Not to be outdone, Chang Mo said. When the time comes, you guys won't have a good ending either. Don't celebrate too early. You don't have to worry about that. You should worry about how you're going to spend the day. Lin Suyin then looked at Su Yun. You don't want me to lock her up with Gu Ming, so you arrange for someone to watch her alone? Su Yun shook his head. I personally watched her. She's not Gu Ming. She's from Heaven's Eye. I'm afraid I'm the only one who can keep an eye on her. You. Lin Suyin was stunned. You mean you were watching her? Where do you want her to go? Your room? Su Yun nodded. That's right. It's not that I don't trust you guys, but she's from Heaven's Eye after all. I can't be careless. You really think highly of me. Chang Mo sneered. Su Yun, don't tell me you have other thoughts. Bringing a girl to your room is definitely not suitable for a man and a woman alone. Lin Suyin shook her head. Su Yun borrowed Yang Qi's handcuffs and put them on his right hand and Chang Mo's left hand respectively. Chang Emo had no chance at all. Yang Qi, give the key to Brother Dong for safekeeping. Su Yin said. This is the safest way. Wu Yuandong took the key from Yang Qi and nodded seriously. He would treat this matter seriously, and would never give the key to anyone else. Are you guys going to eat together like this later? Lin Suyin stared at Su Yin with wide eyes. Su Yin said. That's right. Before the others appear, I won't let her out of my sight for even half a meter. I think eating isn't a problem. The problem is, if one of you wants to go to the toilet. Yang Qi said weakly. This was probably the most difficult problem. Su Yin had obviously thought about this problem. No matter what, I can't let her out of my sight. Even if it's for a few seconds, she'll still have a chance. Despicable. Shameless. Chang Emo glared at Su Yin. Despicable. Su Yin didn't care. Don't talk about me. It's fair for both of us, and I'm the one who's at a disadvantage. When you go to the toilet, you sit down, but I can't see anything. When I go to the toilet, I'm standing. If you want to see, you can see everything. You're not at a disadvantage. I'm the one who's at a disadvantage. Shameless. If it wasn't for the fact that Chang Emo couldn't beat Su Yin, she would have killed Su Yin immediately. I can't help it. Who told you to be from Sky's Eye? If you weren't from Sky's Eye, we could talk about anything. But you're from Sky's Eye, so between us, I'm afraid we can't talk about anything. Su Yin took a deep breath. I'm not that kind of person. I'm also in a difficult position, so you better pray that they come to you sooner. It was time for dinner. This was probably the most uncomfortable meal Chang Emo had ever eaten. She wanted to have some backbone and not eat anything, but she hadn't eaten for a whole day. If she didn't eat now, she would use up more energy. If something happened and she didn't have any energy left, it would be even more troublesome. Therefore, Chang Emo didn't care about Lin Suyin's sarcasm. She didn't care about other people's looks and rolled eyes. She ate until she was full. Even if something happened, she wouldn't have to worry about her energy. Although this was the most uncomfortable meal Chang Emo had ever eaten, it was also the most she had ever eaten in her life. After returning to Su Yun's room, Su Yun looked at her in disbelief. How can you be so slim with such a big appetite? Do you have any special recipes? Why don't you just stop working for Sky's Eye and write a skinny secret book? Once it's published, I guarantee you'll be famous. Chang Emo looked coldly at Su Yun. If it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be in such a sorry state. Chang Emo could feel that Su Yun was quite polite to her. At least, he was more polite than the other people in the Three Lotus Association. This made Chang Emo very confused. Moreover, she was getting more and more curious about Su Yun's identity. She could vaguely feel that Su Yun wasn't just a Hong Kong and Macau police officer. I don't have a problem with you eating so much, but don't eat until you get a stomachache. I don't want to run to the toilet all the time. Su Yun said in boredom as he tried to sit on the bed. However, Chang Emo tightened her grip on the handcuffs. What are you trying to do? Take a break, Su Yun said. I will never sleep with you, Chang Emo said very seriously. After all, her hands were handcuffed to Su Yun's. If Su Yun went to bed to sleep, she would have to sleep with him. Su Yun said. Then think of a way yourself. You can stand, sit, or lie down. I just want to sleep. If you don't find it tiring, you can do whatever you want. But don't torture me. Su Yun, you're doing this on purpose, Chang Emo said. I don't have time for that, Su Yun said. Then why don't you just torture me like a prisoner? Chang Emo said. I'm not that kind of person. I don't need to do that kind of thing. Su Yun smiled. Don't worry. Unless we completely fall out because of our bola, I won't hurt a defenseless woman. Chang Emo said very seriously. If you don't kill me now, you'll regret it when you want to kill me. Unfortunately, I've never done anything that will make me regret it, Su Yun said. Don't worry about me. Think about how you're going to sleep. As long as you don't drag me down with you, I don't care what position you're in. Who the hell are you? Chang Mo's curiosity was completely aroused. She realized that she was in trouble. Not only was she in trouble, but even Skynet was in trouble this time. This guy was someone who was willing to sacrifice his life for our bola. Su Yun's smile was very mysterious. Do you really want to know who I am? Chapter 23-22. After a few seconds of silence, Chang Emo nodded seriously. That's right. She was very curious about Su Yun's true identity. What kind of person would chase after Arbola so relentlessly? Su Yun smiled again. Have you studied the history of Huaxia? A little. Chang Emo was stunned. She didn't understand what history had to do with Su Yun, but she still blurted out what Su Yun said. Cao Cao was a hero of the Three Kingdoms. Since you know a little, you must know, Su Yun said. Don't tell me you're the descendant of Su Huang, one of Cao Cao's generals? Chang Mo's eyes widened. Then why don't you say something more powerful? Dianwei, Su Chu Pound. These people are probably more powerful than Su Huang, right? You've read too much romance of the Three Kingdoms, haven't you? Su Yin asked. Why don't you mention Cao Zhang, Zhang Liao, and Xiahou Yuan too? Then what are you trying to say? Don't tell me you're talking about Su Ji? Chang Yemo said. Actually, Su Ji isn't bad. At least he's better than Zhang Yi and Liao Hua. But I remember there's a saying that Liao Hua was the vanguard because there were no generals in Shu. It sounds like Liao Hua isn't that strong. Su Ji beating him isn't something to brag about, is it? Su Yun's face darkened. I'm not talking to you about the old ancestor. I'm talking about something else. Can you not change the subject? You're the one who started it. What does it have to do with me? Chang Yemo said. How would I know what you mean? I'm talking about Cao Cao's ferocious cavalry. Have you heard of them? Su Yin asked. Cao Cao's terrifying cavalry, the Death Knights. But I don't think there's much about them in the Three Kingdoms. There's only a legend that a ferocious cavalry soldier could withstand the azure dragon saber of War Saint Guan Yu. Chang Mo's knowledge of this was beyond Su Yun's imagination. Su Yun looked at Chang Mo with interest and asked, what else do you know? The history books say that the ferocious leopard cavalry is the world's most valiant cavalry. Perhaps 100-men general can only be the ferocious leopard cavalry's pawns. The world's most valiant cavalry really lives up to its name. I think that in terms of individual bravery, only Su Chu's tiger guards can compare to the ferocious cavalry, right? Chang Mo was very interested in ancient history, so it wasn't surprising that he knew so much. Su Yun praised. Not bad you even know this. The ferocious leopard cavalry once defeated Han Xiuyang's iron cavalry and killed 2 generals. This basically shows that the ferocious leopard cavalry was the trump card of the entire Three Kingdoms period. Chang Mo said. After she finished speaking, she hesitated for a moment. Why are you telling me this? Is he in the mood to talk about history? Isn't your heart a little too big? I don't have such a big heart, and I'm not talking about history with you. Su Yun said. I'm just giving an example. If I was in the Three Kingdoms period, I would be the captain of the ferocious leopard cavalry. Chang Mo frowned. She didn't understand what Su Yun meant. What nonsense are you talking about? You're the captain of the ferocious leopard cavalry? Do you even know how to ride a horse? You don't have to look down on me like this. Su Yun said. If I don't even know how to ride a horse, then I don't deserve to be here. Chang Mo was quite knowledgeable about history, but she didn't understand Su Yun's analogy at all. Su Yun wanted to say that his current situation and status were equivalent to the generals of the ferocious leopard cavalry, but Chang Mo didn't understand what he was trying to say. Right now, Chang Mo wasn't in the mood to continue talking about history with Su Yun. She lowered her head and looked at the handcuffs on her wrists. Her heart was in a mess. How could she endure this torture? It was already late, but Remnant Sky and the others still didn't see Chang Mo. This made them anxious. Nian Yi got up and paced back and forth many times, but she still couldn't get rid of the uneasiness in her heart. Why isn't she back yet? Could something have happened to her? Nian Yi muttered over and over again. Jiesu was getting a headache from his words. Nothing should have happened, but you jinxed it. I'm worried. Aren't you worried too? Nian Yi exclaimed. Look at how long she's been gone. Is this normal? Regardless of whether something has happened or not, your incessant nagging won't do any good. Jiesu said. Just wait patiently. She might be back soon. Waiting isn't a solution either. Are we going to keep waiting like this? Nianyi had the urge to go out and look for her. Alright, stop arguing, both of you, Guli said. Chang Yamo hasn't returned for such a long time. Perhaps something has really happened. Even so, we have to stay calm. Nianyi slammed her fist on the ground. I told you that we shouldn't have let her go out on her own. Now that something has happened, what do you think we should do? Complaining won't solve anything. We should stay calm at a time like this. Guli said, Don't worry, Chang Yamo isn't that easy to deal with. We have to believe in her. Perhaps she has run into some trouble, but I believe that she won't give up so easily. Remnant Sky, say something, Nianyi exclaimed. You're the one who let her go. You can't just say something when something has happened. What nonsense are you spouting? Guli said. Remnant Sky would feel even worse if Nianyi said that. Remnant Sky knew very well that he was the one who had made the decision, so he must bear the responsibility. He didn't need anyone to remind him at a time like this, so Nianyi's words would only upset him. I'm telling the truth. If we hadn't made that decision back then, this situation wouldn't have happened. Nianyi was genuinely worried about Chang Yamo. She had no other intentions. Remnant Sky finally spoke. That's right, the responsibility lies with me. I'm not asking you to bear any responsibility. I'm asking you to hurry up and tell us what we should do now, Nianyi said. I definitely won't agree to wait any longer. Chang Yamo may be immature and childish at times, but she knows that we need her at times like this. She'll definitely do her best to complete the mission. Remnant Sky agreed with Nianyi. I also believe that Chang Yamo must have run into some trouble. I'll go look for her now. Give me 12 hours. If I'm not back by tomorrow morning, you guys, find a way to get our bola out of here. Don't worry about the two of us anymore. The other three fell silent. They understood what Remnant Sky meant. It was a very, very serious statement. They knew very well what it meant. Sky's Eye did not care about abandoning or giving up. In order to achieve their ultimate goal, abandoning and giving up were things that Sky's Eye's members had to learn. In other words, if Remnant Sky and Chang Yamo did not return by tomorrow, the other three would have to give up on the two of them and prioritize protecting our bola. They would have to transport the items out as soon as possible. You won't. I believe you won't. Guli said. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you to bring Chang Yamo back. Remnant Sky nodded and quickly disappeared into the night. He knew that time waited for no one. The situation now was extremely urgent. Every minute he was late, Chang Yamo would be in more danger. This was the most dangerous situation the five of them had encountered since they came out. Chang Mo's disappearance cast a shadow over everyone's hearts. Everyone's expression was stiff. Guli was like that. Nianyi was like that as well. Jiesu's originally expressionless face looked even uglier. Remnant Sky's feelings were more complicated than anyone else's. He bore the greatest responsibility, because he was the cause of all of this. If he had been more resolute at that time and directly rejected Chang Mo's request, today's incident would not have happened. He absolutely could not let anything happen to Chang Yamo. Even if he had to die here, he absolutely could not let anything happen to Chang Yamo. Who could understand the struggle in Remnant Sky's heart? No one could understand. Remnant Sky was the one who was suffering the most right now. The multifaceted pressure made it hard for him to breathe. This was the first time he had felt so much pressure. The immense pressure he had never felt before was even more unbearable than the first time he went on a mission. Someone who could not be missed had gone missing. Remnant Sky had no reason to explain. He had to find her. Chapter 23-23. Not only did Su Yin manage to capture Tianyan's men, but he also received another piece of good news. Changbai Mountain had received a clear message through various channels. They had also confirmed the location of the snow ape, and were preparing to take action in an hour. However, Su Yin couldn't share this good news with Feng Luo. Xiao Kaiyu didn't know if it was because he was worried that Feng Luo would get too close to them, or if it was because he realized how shameless he was, but he didn't appear in front of them for the entire day. Xiao Kaiyu only came to the Three Lotus Association late at night. The only reason he came here was to confirm the rumors he had heard outside. Su Yin had captured the snow ape. This was the only thing Qiao Kaiyu wanted to confirm. Capturing Tianyan's men was a big deal. This was related to when he could get his hands on the treasure. Qiao Kaiyu couldn't miss out on such an important hostage. Wu Yuandong was quite speechless. Boss Qiao got the news pretty quickly. You're already here before Tianyan's men were lured out. I can tell you that we've captured the snow ape, but we're the ones who captured him. It has nothing to do with you. You can't say that. Since we're in an alliance, we're the same bait. Qiao Kaiyu said, the Three Lotus Association really has some tricks up their sleeves. However, you have to think carefully. After all, the other party isn't alone. It's a team. With just the strength of the Three Lotus Association, it's still dangerous. Feng Luo can at least help take half of the pressure off Su Yin. This was also the truth. This was also why they had to compromise with Qiao Kaiyu. Boss Qiao, if we need your help, we'll take the initiative to look for you. You don't have to stick to us like this every day. This isn't good for either of us, right? Wu Yuandong said. We admit that we've captured the snow ape. However, if you have any other requests, I'm afraid we can't comply. I just want to take a look, Qiao Kaiyu said. If you don't believe me, you don't have to be so sure. If you believe me, then don't doubt me, Wu Yuandong said. It's getting late. Our young miss is already resting. It's not convenient to take you there. Qiao Kaiyu smiled slightly. The people of Heaven's Eye are all experts. I'm afraid even you are not their match. Even if you catch someone, it must be Su Yin personally taking care. In this case, I'm afraid he won't be able to eat or sleep in peace. This old thing is really smart. Wu Yuandong frowned. It's not convenient to chat with Boss Qiao. If Boss Qiao wants to stay here and rest, the guest room is still prepared for you. If you don't want to stay here, then please leave. Okay. Then I won't disturb you, Qiao Kaiyu said. I live here. If there's anything, we can talk tomorrow. Wu Yuandong ignored Qiao Kaiyu, whose skin was as thick as a city wall. This kind of person could not be driven away. Qiao Kaiyu came to his guest room with ease, and his heart was constantly calculating his little abacus. Wait a moment. Go and find out what's going on. After Qiao Kaiyu returned to the guest room, he said to Feng Suo, be careful. Try not to let them know that I arranged for you to go. Boss Qiao, since the person has been confirmed to be taken back to the Three Lotus Gang, what's there to find out? Feng Suo did not understand why Qiao Kaiyu was doing this. Qiao Kaiyu said, what do you know? This is called know yourself and know your enemy. No matter what you can hear, you have to tell me immediately. Feng Suo was helpless. He could only nod and agree. Then I'll go now. Wait a moment. Don't be so anxious. We just arrived. They are still on guard. Wait a moment. Wait an hour. Qiao Kaiyu said. Although he did not know what he wanted to hear, he still felt that if he could find out more information, he would have a better chance of winning. Feng Suo could only follow Qiao Kaiyu's instructions. Although this did not seem to be good for Su Yin, he believed that Su Yin would understand him. An hour later, Feng Suo nimbly found his way to Su Yin's room. However, before he could hear anything, Su Yin spoke first. Come in. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Feng Suo was stunned. Chang Emo, who was tied up with Su Yin, was also shocked. She did not know who was outside and did not hear anything. Feng Suo pushed open the door and entered. Chang Emo was shocked. It's you. So you really did catch one. Feng Suo said indifferently. Boss Qiao did not believe me and wanted me to check it out. With his personality, he would definitely do that. There is nothing strange about it. Su Yin smiled. Come in. What is your relationship with him? Chang Emo did not understand. The two who should have been at each other's throats were actually chatting like normal friends. Su Yin ignored Chang Mo's confusion and threw his phone to Feng Suo. Look at the picture. It is safe. Feng Luo was stunned. He doubtfully picked up the phone that Su Yin had thrown to him. When the photo entered his eyes, he recognized it at a glance. That's right. It was his snow ape. It was the one that was captured by the logging organization. How did you do it? Feng Suo looked at Su Yin in disbelief. Su Yin smiled. I said that if I think I can do it, I will definitely do it. Xiao Kaiyu should know that the snow ape has been taken by now. The area where they illegally logged has been cleaned up. The people in charge are all waiting to be sentenced. He didn't say anything to me, Feng Suo said. Maybe he hasn't received the news yet, but he should know soon. Su Yin said. I'll make a bet with you. He won't tell you about this. If you ask him about the Yetis and ask him to send you a picture of the Yetis, I'm afraid he'll be dumbfounded. Feng Luo clenched his fists tightly. Don't worry. Your snow ape is no longer in danger. I will have my brothers send it back to your world safely, Su Yin. Don't worry, I won't be like Xiao Kaiyu. Just like that, Su Yin easily took care of what he needed to do. Even if he took the snow ape, he didn't use it as a threat. Feng Suo took a deep breath. So the trust between people didn't need to be threatened. That was trust. What Xiao Kaiyu gave him wasn't trust at all. It was threat and use. That was all. This is our bait. Su Yin pointed at Chang Mo. I believe the other 4 people in Skies. I will think of a way to save her soon. When the time comes, it will depend on how much you can help me. Even if I bet my life, I won't let you down, Feng Suo said. As long as they dare to come, I dare not let them go back. What's important is the thing in their hands, and if we can keep them alive, then we should. Su Yin. Su Yin was too curious about Sky's eye. That was why he felt that they had to keep them alive. Keeping them alive was the most important thing. Chang Mo spat. You guys can keep dreaming. You still want to keep them alive? You still want to do this and that. You are too naive. When the time comes, you will know how powerful we are. You will regret messing with us. I should be the one saying that to you. It's your bad luck that your Skies eye met me. Su Yun smiled faintly. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself. Why did you have to come to Huaxia to do something? Chang Mo struggled twice, but she had no ability to resist. Just now, Su Yin had inserted 2 needles into 2 acupoints on her back. After these 2 needles were inserted, all of Chang Mo's Zhenqi seemed to have been sealed. She was completely like an ordinary person. She could feel that she was now a girl without any strength to truss a chicken. Chang Mo knew that sealing acupuncture points with silver needles was a very high-level technique. It would prevent her from circulating her true energy for 24 hours. Su Yin was relieved. Even if Chang Mo slept, she wouldn't be able to kill him. Now that Snow's ape is fine, I can rest easy, Feng Suo said. Thank you. But I have to go back, otherwise Boss Chiao will get suspicious. Go on, Su Yin said with a grin. When the time comes, help me out. Consider it a thank you. Feng Suo clasped hands and bowed, then turned and left. Chapter 23-24. Why are you 2 working together? Aren't you a match for her? Chang Mo looked at Su Yin in confusion. She was shocked by their alliance. This was not good news for Sky's eye. Chang Mo was well aware of Su Yin's strength, and she had also witnessed Feng Lu's strength. Both of them were freakishly strong, not people who could be trifled with. Feng Lu alone was enough to suppress Gu Li and her. Judging from their current relationship, Su Yun's strength was definitely not below Feng Lu's. Now that she was being controlled, once her 4 brothers came looking for her, she would have to face the 2 masters, Su Yun and Feng Lu, as well as Wu Yuandong of the 3 Lotus Association, and a few other hall masters. Although their strength was mediocre, they were still masters and could not be underestimated. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We all want our bola, so of course we're not a match, Su Yun said. At least until our bola gets it, none of us are a match. You're really despicable, Chang Mo said. Su Yun faltered slightly upon hearing this. What's so despicable about that? It's completely normal. If the item is in their hands, and we all want it, we might be able to form an alliance. Impossible, Sky's Eye has never formed an alliance with anyone, Chang Mo said. That's because you're too confident, Su Yun said. And you have the advantage in numbers, so of course you don't need to form an alliance. But I need to. I won't let myself be attacked from both sides. Besides, you know what kind of strength Feng Lu has. Chang Mo snorted. Looks like you've thought it through very thoroughly. But I still have to warn you, Sky's Eye is not to be trifled with. Can you tell me why you're doing this? Suyin said. I'm really curious about your actions. What is your goal? How could a commoner like you understand what we're doing? Changemo said. I don't need to waste my breath on you. Maybe you can convince me, and I'll let you go. Suyin smiled. Even though he didn't believe it himself, Changemo was stunned. Her eyes revealed a look of trust. Changemo stared at Suyin for a long time before he suddenly said, Really? In the face of Changmo's pure and innocent trust, Suyun's smile was somewhat bitter. That depends on whether you can convince me. Heaven's Eye exists to purify the world. Changemo said. Everything we do is to punish those who deserve to be punished. We have never killed any innocent people. The people we punish are all sinners who deserve to die. Suyin took a deep breath. But who gave you this right? Of course, it's the right that Father gave us. Changemo said. Our lives were saved by Father. We have to do what he wants us to do. If Father didn't punish those who controlled us, we wouldn't be where we are today. So today, we will continue to punish those who deserve to be punished for Father. Suyin frowned. Then your father is. You don't deserve to know. Changemo said. I can only tell you that everything we do is for the world. Suyin could see the loneliness and pain in Changemo. Only people like her could have such an aura. Changemo had many similarities to Suyin when he was young. You're an orphan. Suyin said lightly. Where did you grow up? Heaven's Eye, of course. Changemo said. Suyin shook his head. I'm talking about before you got Heaven's Eye. Changmo's expression froze. She didn't seem to want to remember her childhood at all. Changemo couldn't bear the pain of that childhood. So when Suyin mentioned it, she had such a terrified expression. No. Changemo shook her head vigorously. I don't have that. Everything before I got Heaven's Eye has disappeared in hell. I don't have that life. The memories of life won't lie to us. Suyin said. Maybe your father forced you to forget the pain, but it's a fact that can't be erased. It's a fact that none of us can change. Changemo hugged his head with all his might and shook his head repeatedly. No, I didn't. I've already forgotten. Running away won't solve anything. Suyin said. My childhood wasn't as good as yours. Didn't I also endure until now? Do you know what misery is? Changemo laughed coldly. You don't know what true pain is. If you were sold by your birth parents for drug money, would you be able to bear it? Do you know what it's like? Suyin was silent. It was as he imagined. Behind every person in Heaven's Eye, there seemed to be a secret that couldn't be told. They weren't truly evil and vicious. Instead, it was their experiences that turned them into the way they were today. How sad was that? That kind of pain was something that Suyin couldn't understand or bear. The first time I killed someone, I was only 3 years old. If I didn't kill my partner, she would kill me. Changemo said. Those inhumane bastards only gave each of us 10 minutes. She didn't kill me in 10 minutes, so the knife came to my hand. If I don't kill her in 10 minutes, both of us will be executed. Suyin didn't say anything. Changemo was a bit emotional. So I did it. So, I killed the first true friend of my life. She was just like me, a pitiful person. I don't know where she was sold. And then a child who was chosen. The maxim of that place is very simple. If you don't have the courage to kill, you will only end up being killed. Changemo said. Do you know I grew up in that place day by day. There were more than 100 girls there with me. In just 3 years there were only 5 left. The Red Group. Suyin said. It seems like there is only one such group in the world. They only train girls. Every 3 years, they will train a few outstanding female assassins. When Changemo heard this name, her whole body shook. Yes, this was the name she didn't want to hear the most in her life. So the destruction of the Red Group was related to Heaven's Eye. Suyin said. Was it done by Heaven's Eye? That's right. Changemo said. Everyone there deserved to die. Dying 10,000 times wouldn't be enough to atone for their sins. They never treated human lives as human lives. They never treated us as human beings. How many women would become their playthings just because they looked at them? They all deserved to die. Su Yin could feel Changmo's deep hatred for the red group. That kind of hatred couldn't be described in a few words. If it wasn't for father, I would have become a sinner. A sinner who can never be washed away. Changmo said. I want to wash away the sins I committed before. I have to constantly change the sins I committed. I want to wash away everything and become a sinner. I want to eliminate all the sins in the world. Suyin really wanted to say that this kind of brainwashing was really too successful. Perhaps each of the heaven's eyes thought that their actions were to wash away their sins, to eliminate them, but they didn't know that their actions were still a kind of sin. You are only doing this to free yourself. Can you really wash away all your sins? I don't think so. Suyin said. I don't know what your father said to you, but what you are doing now is still a sin. No. If it's to punish the sinners, then it's not a sin. Changmo said. In order to stop the sins from happening, everything we do is right. No matter what method we use, no matter what impact we cause, it's all right. You have no reason to convince yourself. Suyin said. Changmo said very firmly. Of course I do. Because everything I do is to stop the sins from happening. So I have a reason to use any method to stop them. Because it's right. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. Don't find excuses for your sins. Suyin didn't agree with Changmo's words. Chapter 23-25. What is right and what is wrong? Changmo asked. In this world, there is no standard to measure right and wrong. What you think is right and wrong is what you think is right and wrong, but what I think is right and wrong is what I think is right and wrong. Our standards are different, so how can we talk about right and wrong? Su Yin smiled. This is a philosophical question. I have no right to speak. I am not a philosopher, but you are not one either. I only know that everything about Heaven's Eye is contradictory. You use your disdainful actions to treat those you think are wrong, so you are no different from those people. Buddha said that if I don't go to hell, who will? Some things have to be done by someone. This person is not you, not someone else. If it is not me, then who should do it? Changmo said, our standpoints are different, and the things we pursue are also different. You don't understand this at all. Buddha means that you can go to hell to save anyone who repents. If not me, then who? It means that all living things are equal. Suyin said, you don't have the concept of all living things being equal, so how can you talk about Buddha? Changmo snorted. Suyin, don't make it sound so nice. There is no one in this world who doesn't have evil intentions. It is not that they don't want to do evil, but the price of doing evil is too high. If there were no sanctions, do you think the world would be like this? Human society has developed for thousands of years, from slave society to feudal society to today's civilized society. It was all step by step. That is why there are laws. Suyin said, laws are sanctions and they set the price. Then why are there still people who knowingly break the law and take risks? Isn't it because of the loopholes in the law? Changmo said, since it is not perfect, there must be someone to fill the loopholes in the law, and Heaven's Eye is used to fill the loopholes in the law. Suyin shook his head. Nonsense, Heaven's Eye is knowingly breaking the law and taking risks. Their actions are not honorable at all. You're talking nonsense. Changmo snorted. If the Heaven's Eye's actions aren't honorable, then there's nothing honorable in this world. Then why did you hide it when you used the Ebola virus as a weapon to spread the virus? Suyin asked. Why couldn't you just bring it out in the open? That's not something you can understand. You don't need to know. Changmo said, Wang Jinjin has something important that we need to get our hands on. Once we get that thing, we can carry out the next step of our bigger plan. Suyin smiled and said, extract? You guys are really unscrupulous. However, it's too late now. The refining agent in Wang Jinjin's hands has already been destroyed. That kind of thing that can cause a large-scale riot must not be left alive. I thought you weren't that naive, but it turns out that you are. Changmo said, you didn't really think that the extraction agents were all destroyed, did you? Let me tell you. Actually, we already have it. As long as the benefits are attractive enough, there will be people willing to take the risk. Suyin frowned. He didn't know what happened in Hong Kong and Macau, but he didn't dare to deny it. Su Yin, do you think you're a righteous person? Don't tell me you won't make mistakes? Chang Emo sneered. Do you think that when you were undercover by Wang Jingjin's side, everything you did was legal? Since you know that I'm undercover, that means the law gave me the authority, Su Yin said. I have the authority. Chang Emo didn't think much of it. The law gives you the authority to kill De Kuren, or even Wang Jingjin, or anyone in Hongdong society. Because their hands are not clean, they deserve to die. However, did the law give you the authority to humiliate Officer Yang? Did the law give you the authority to hurt Li Guang? None of those, right? Su Yin was speechless. Although Chang Mo's words were a little twisted, Su Yin had no reason to refute it. Su Yin felt extremely guilty about the harm he had caused Li Guang and Yang Qi. Therefore, when Chang Mo threw out this question, Su Yin was completely speechless. The truth was that he had no choice but to do something to achieve his ultimate goal. What was the difference between such actions and the actions of Sky's Eye? Therefore, this was something that left Su Yin completely speechless. I won't do something like this again, Su Yin said with his head lowered. As long as the end result is attractive enough, anyone will do something they don't want to do, Chang Mo said. You think you were forced, but aren't we the same? It's just that we've been through a lot, so we've gotten used to it. Su Yin. It's not a habit, it's numbness. What's the difference? Chang Mo said. Have you always thought of yourself as a good person? But in my opinion, it's just that the temptation isn't enough. If the temptation is enough, you won't think that way. If I strip naked in front of you right now, do you think you'll still be a gentleman? Su Yin. I may not be a gentleman, but I'm definitely not a lowly person. If I can't even handle something like this, I really don't deserve to preach in front of you. If you think you can handle it, that's because I didn't do it. If I really did it, would you reject the beauty that was sent to your mouth? In my opinion, no man would reject it. Chang Mo said, morality is restrained because the temptation isn't enough and the risk is too high. Su Yin didn't say anything. He didn't know what Chang Mo was trying to prove, but what she said made sense. How many people could withstand such temptation? When the temptation was enough and the risk was zero, no one would be able to resist it. Do you dare to make a bet with me? Chang Mo said. Su Yin shook his head. I don't need to make a bet with you. I won't lose, so I'm not interested in making a bet with you. It's not that you're not interested, it's that you don't dare. Chang Mo said, because you're afraid of losing. If you lose, you'll lose everything you believe in. Don't be too confident, Su Yin said. Not all men will be like a thirsty dog that sees a sweet spring when they see a woman. That's something that happens in Japan's ***********. You don't need to argue with me about principles because I won't lose. You won't get the result you want. Chang Mo snorted. Then let's try. She didn't believe there was such a man in the world. She wanted to completely expose Su Yin's hypocritical mask. She wanted to let Su Yin know that everything he did was because he was wearing a mask of morality. When this mask was trampled, there was no difference between a man and an animal. This was why their heavens I did these things. It was because they had seen too many things done by people who had lost their masks of morality. They were truly worse than animals. Since they were already worse than animals, why struggle? Living under a mask was a kind of hypocrisy. Chang Mo wanted to see where Su Yin's confidence came from. No matter what price she had to pay today, she had to make Su Yin's heart collapse. As she spoke, Chang Mo really took off her outer clothes. Her half-transparent lace underwear was exposed to the air. Chang Mo's proud peaks and snow-white skin were all exposed. This was a scene Su Yin never expected. Chang Mo's actions were so sudden that Su Yin was caught off guard. Do you still want to endure? My acupuncture points have been sealed by you, and I have lost all ability to resist. As long as you like, I can be manipulated by you without being able to resist. Don't you want to try it? Chang Mo directly declared war on Su Yin. Su Yin looked at Chang Mo and didn't come back to his senses for a long time. He really didn't understand what this girl was trying to prove. Was the truth in her heart so important that she would disregard everything to prove it? I said, I'm a man of principles. Su-yin finally chose to close his eyes. Chang Emo snorted. You don't even dare to look because you're afraid you can't suppress the evil in your heart. If you can really let wine and meat pass through your intestines, the person in Buddha's heart won't care about anything in front of her. Chapter 23-26. Everyone hides behind the four walls of wine, sex, avarice, and temper. If anyone can jump over them, even if he's not an immortal, he'll still live a long life. Chang Emo still insisted on standing in front of Su-yin. This is a poem written by a monk in the past. If you don't have any reaction at all, then you should really become a monk. Drinking without getting drunk is the best. Seeing women without being charmed is the best. Wealth is unjust. Be patient and let it go. Su-yin. It's not that you can do anything without touching, but as long as you know the limit, it's a kind of success. Chang Emo said. Then open your eyes and look at me. After saying that, Chang Emo took off her underwear and put it on Su-yin's shoulder. The unique fragrance of a girl made Su-yin excited. Body fragrance was different from perfume. Su-yin didn't like the strong perfume smell at all. But this girl's scent made it hard for him to extricate himself from it. Although the fragrance of luxury brands was unique, there weren't many people who were willing to spend thousands or even hundreds of thousands on a bottle of perfume. Most people still use cheap perfume that cost a few hundred yuan. This kind of perfume would never be as gentle as body fragrance. Do you really think I'm a monk? Su-yin. I'm not a monk. If you insist on sending yourself to me, I'm not that noble. Are monks noble? Chang Emo said disapprovingly. Not all monks are truly virtuous and virtuous. When faced with enough temptation, they will also abandon their own beliefs and not care about them. Even the monk CEO was reported by his own disciple. Corruption, womanizing, abusing power. Aren't these things the talk of Huaxia? I admit that. There's no smoke without fire. Black and white can't be reversed. Right and wrong have their own opinions. Su-yin. Times have changed. Some monks feel wronged and feel that they can't be bound by the rules of 100 years ago. Monks can still drive and play with their phones. The rules and precepts are just a title. What rules should Buddhists follow? What do they believe in? Cultivators should have self-restraint. Monks shouldn't be lenient to the outside world and cultivate in peace. You claim to be a Buddhist, but you don't follow the rules of cultivation. What kind of monk are you? Chang Emo said. When you enter this sect, you have to follow the rules. If you can't even follow the most basic rules, why should you wear a kasaya and pretend to be a monk? On the one hand, they enjoy the incense oil offered by the believers, but they don't promote the true essence of Buddhism. Instead, they enjoy themselves, which is contrary to the teachings of Buddhism. Is this what a monk is like today? Su-yin said. That's just an exception. I believe that not all monks are like that. There will always be people who will carry forward the true essence of Buddhism. There will always be people who will cultivate and become Buddhas. I don't think so. Chang Emo said. A monk should be free of all things and shouldn't be burdened by the words of others. But now, could these monks do it? Even monks can marry and have children. How ridiculous. Even those who have returned to the secular world shouldn't be able to do that. The doctrine emphasized on the essence of suffering, the essence of gathering, the essence of destruction, and the essence of Tao. Before people understood the Tao, they were attached to the 6 realms of reincarnation. Buddhism believed that all living beings would rise and fall between the 6 realms of heaven, man, asura, hell, ghost, and beast. Therefore, the liberation that Buddhism pursued was to escape the fate of the 6 realms of reincarnation and reach the state of nirvana without love or anger. If getting married and having children meant that they were attached to the human path of the 6 realms, it meant that they were willing to sink into the suffering of the 6 realms. This went against the teachings of the 4 truths of suffering. However, many people didn't really understand these things, so they thought that there was no difference between what a monk did. The rules and regulations of a monk were actually very necessary. The 5 precepts were murder, robbery, lust and drunkenness, and the 3 poisons were greed, anger, and stupidity. If they couldn't even guard against these, then what was the point of cultivating? What a monk wants to do is his business. I didn't grow up drinking the water of the Pacific Ocean, so I don't have to care so much. Su-yin said. I only care about myself and do what I should do. In for a penny, in for a pound. Chang Emo pressed his entire body against Su-yin's body. Then do whatever you want. Is it worth it? Su-yin said. To prove everything you know, you're willing to do this? It's not worth it. Then is it worth it for you to endure like this? To prove to me that you're not the kind of person I said you were. You're willing to give up such an opportunity? Chang Emo said. Do you know how many men I saw staring at me? As long as I curled my finger, I believe that those men would even lick their toes for me. There are many people like that. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. Su-yin said. Appetite and lust are part of human nature. This is a very normal state of mind. Chang Emo said. That means you want it too. As long as you have such thoughts, you're a pitiful person. Thoughts don't mean implementation. Why do you have to be so extreme? Su-yin said. If everyone with evil thoughts had to die, then there would be no living person in the world. Those who can suppress their evil thoughts have a moral bottom line. Only those who don't suppress their evil thoughts are worthy of your term. Chang Emo snorted. Those who have evil thoughts deserve to die. Man is born good. The things in the three-character classic make sense, don't they? The complexity of the world will always change a person. Su-yin said. It's the same for you. If you lived in a different environment, you wouldn't have become like this, right? Chang Emo said. Unfortunately, I didn't live in an environment where I could silently accept the ugliness of the world. I'm thankful that I lived in an environment where I could destroy these ugliness. Do you really think so? Su-yin finally opened his eyes. If you had a choice, would you still want to live like this? I don't believe it. Unfortunately, there are no ifs. Chang Mo's expression was numb. I don't have another chance to choose. My life was already set in stone. I have never regretted anything I've done. If Arbola isn't safely destroyed, you will regret it. Su-yin suddenly shouted. Chang Emo grabbed Su-yin's hand and placed it on his body. You should first prove to me that you can persevere through me before you care about Arbola. As long as you don't pursue the whereabouts of the Arbola weapon and let them go, I will be yours from now on. No matter what you want me to do, I will do it. Why can't you understand? Su-yin pulled his hand back. Your resentment runs too deep. Chang Emo really did not understand. What did the Arbola weapon have to do with Su-yin? Why would he pull his hand back in the face of such temptation? I have my principles. I hope you won't force me to do anything to you, Su-yin said. Put your clothes back on. What if I don't? Chang Emo asked. Su-yin suddenly slashed the back of Chang Mo's neck. Chang Mo's vision turned black, and he fainted on the bed. Su-yin helped Chang Emo put his clothes back on, and his understanding of heaven's eye deepened. It turned out that their heaven's eye yearned for a perfect utopian world, a world without sin. There was no one who did not yearn for such a world. It was believed that everyone yearned for such a world, but such a world would never exist. There would always be sin in any society. No matter when, sin would never disappear. This was how the world was. Where there was black, there was white. Where there was light, there was darkness. Where there was kindness, there was evil. This was something that would never disappear. It was a simple principle. A Taiji diagram was enough to explain everything. You will understand it sooner or later. Su-yin looked at Chang Emo, who was unconscious on the bed, and said, The world is still full of light. If there really comes a day, nothing can be perfect. Even if it is a piece of pure jade, the impurities inside can still be seen under a microscope tens of thousands of times. Chang Emo did not dare to believe the results of today's events. Su-yin really did not touch her, and did not have any evil thoughts. This touched Chang Emo deeply. If there was no Su-yin, she would never believe that there was a person without evil thoughts in the world. Sleep. You will know tomorrow. Su-yin also lay on the bed. There are still men in the world who can sleep beside you and not take off your clothes. Su-yin not only did not take off her clothes, he even helped her put them back on. It was not that Su-yin did not want to do anything. It was just that Su-yin knew what he should and should not do. If he did not have such principles, How could he be human? Chapter 23-27. When Chang Emo woke up in the morning, Suyin was no longer in the room. Suyin had sealed her acupuncture points with silver needles. She couldn't break it on her own, so she was no longer a threat. That was why Suyin dared to leave her alone in the room. Looking at the clothes she was wearing, Chang Emo was stunned. She looked down at herself and used her heart to feel. She found that there was nothing wrong with her at all. Suyin really didn't touch her. Phew. Did this guy have no desire at all? Chang Emo couldn't believe it. Dad said that everyone was a creature of desire. As long as there was enough temptation, no one would be able to control themselves. This was the same logic as cats eating fish and wolves eating meat. However, did this logic lose its effectiveness when it came to Suyin? It didn't lose its effectiveness. Humans were creatures of desire. People would pursue their goals in order to achieve their goals. One was through hard work, the other was through unscrupulous means. This was the difference between humans. Suyin was the first type. That was why he knew how to control himself and limit his actions. In Chang Mo's eyes, there were only the second type of people. She belonged to the second type as well. The heaven's eyes were unscrupulous in doing what they thought was right. They were unscrupulous in punishing the sinners they thought deserved retribution. That was why Suyin was completely different from her. This also meant that Chang Emo lost to Suyin in the end. Suyin didn't do anything to her and maintained his rationality. Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. Chang Emo muttered to herself. She still couldn't believe that there was someone in this world who could control himself like this. Yesterday, she had lost all consciousness. Suyin could do whatever he wanted to her. She couldn't resist at all. Moreover, she was the one who took off her clothes. Suyin only needed to gently open her legs, and everything would belong to him. Even so, Suyin didn't do that. Suyin used his actions to break Chang Mo's understanding of the world. She suddenly began to doubt whether the world in her eyes was real and evil. Chang Emo got out of bed and quickly opened the door to go out. There were two people standing at the door. When they saw her, they immediately became alert. Chang Mo's reaction was really fast. She immediately attacked the two people. Unfortunately, her acupuncture points were sealed by Suyin, and she couldn't circulate her qi. Even if she attacked, the damage she could cause to the two people at the door would be negligible. She was now just an ordinary girl with some skills. This kind of attack was nothing to the two members of the Three Lotus Association. Seeing that his attack was useless, Chang Mo's face darkened. "Where's Suyin? Please go back to your room and wait for a moment. Brother Yin will be back soon." They were quite polite to Chang Emo. They believed that Suyin had specifically instructed them that as long as Chang Emo did not try to force her way out, they would be polite to her. Of course, Chang Emo wasn't going to be so obedient. She was about to leave. Two arms blocked Chang Mo's path. "You'd better go back to your room. If you want to leave, we won't go easy on you." With just the two of you. Chang Emo took a deep breath. If it was in the past, these two people wouldn't be able to stop her. Even if there were two more, or even 10 of them, she wouldn't care. But now, she fell silent after saying those words. Now these two people were enough to trap her. She didn't have the ability to fight back. "If you still want to force your way out, we can only be disrespectful." Their attitude was very firm. If Chang Emo dared to do anything, they wouldn't hesitate to push her into her room and lock her up. Chang Emo suppressed the anger in her heart and turned around to return to her room. That damned Suyin. He actually used such a method to deal with her. She couldn't even fight back against these two lowly guards. King Kong was very efficient. After a night of investigation, he already knew Chang Mo's whereabouts. By the time he returned to meet up with the other three had already lost their patience from waiting. Seeing that King Kong had returned, Nian Yi was the first to step forward. "Did you find out anything about Chang Emo? When she came out of the supermarket yesterday, she was taken away by the Three Lotus Association." King Kong said. "That Suyin must be very powerful. Chang Emo doesn't seem to have any ability to fight back against him. She's been taken to the Three Lotus Association to be detained." Nian Ye's expression was very gloomy. He really regretted letting Chang Mo go out alone. He shouldn't have let her go. He should have gone with her. Being detained means that she's not in danger. Guli analyzed rationally. The other party's goal is very clear. They want to use Chang Mo as bait to lure us out and capture us all in one fell swoop. Jiesu clenched his fists and laughed icily. What kind of joke is this? That Su Yun alone, no matter how powerful he is, he can't possibly defeat the four of us. That's right. Nianyi added. Let's fight it out with him. I'd like to see how he's going to fight against the four of us alone. If I don't get rid of this person, I, Nianyi, am not human. Don't speak too soon. Kangkong said. Based on my understanding, Su Yun isn't the other party's only opponent now. He has other helpers. Nianyi was stunned. If it's the Three Lotus Association's minions, let's not talk about them. No. Kangkong said. He then looked at Guli. The person who fought Guli back at Fisherman's Street has probably formed an alliance with Su Yun. He and his boss are both staying in the Three Lotus Association. Guli was stunned. You mean the person who used the flying ape fist? That's right. Kangkong said. That's also an expert we can't ignore. I'm pretty sure that he's already joined forces with Su Yun. They're now in an alliance and they're working together to defeat us. Jiesu was a little confused. Aren't they all here for Arbola? Why are they willing to form an alliance? There's no such thing as eternal rivals in this world. When they have the same goal, they can naturally put aside their differences. Kangkong said. They can now form a temporary alliance for the sake of getting what's still in our hands. Once we've snatched it away, they can then think of a way to solve the problem. This is something we didn't expect. Guli took a deep breath. No matter what, we're in a very bad situation now. We need to think carefully about what to do next. Is there even a need to think about it? No matter what happens, we must rescue Changma. Nianyi said. We don't have that much time to think about it. Saving people is more important. Guli glared at Nianyi. How are you going to save them? The situation is very clear now. Changma is bait and the other party is waiting for us to bite the bait. If we don't plan well, not only will we not be able to save them, we might not even be able to escape unscathed. So what? Are we not going to save them just because there's a risk? Nianyi said. I don't care what kind of risk there is, saving people is the most important thing. No matter what, I can't let Changma fall into their hands. Kangkong patted Nianyi, indicating that he shouldn't be so emotional. That would make him lose his rationality. No one said that we shouldn't save them. We won't let Changma fall into their hands. The problem now is how we can save them with a higher success rate. That's right. We must save Changma. Guli added. You need to calm down. If you go in your current state, not only will you not be able to save them, you'll make things worse. Nianyi fell silent after he calmed down. Then how do you suggest we save them? We definitely can't do it alone. Jiesu rarely gave ideas, but this time was unexpected. The other party has two great experts. We won't be able to gain the upper hand in a one-on-one fight, so we need to act together. Any single action will give the other party an opportunity to seize. You're right. Kangkong said. Even Guli couldn't gain the upper hand in a one-on-one fight, let alone Nianyi and Jiesu. Although the two of them were not below Guli in terms of strength, their intelligence was far from his. Therefore, if Guli couldn't gain the upper hand, the two of them wouldn't be able to do better. Chapter 23-28. If the four of us work together and fight 2 against 1, I believe we still have the ability to do so. Nianyi said. Moreover, even though Guli doesn't have the upper hand in a one-on-one fight, you might not necessarily lose either. Everyone knew that Remnant was stronger than Guli. If Remnant could deal with one of them and arrange for the other two to deal with the other, there would still be a chance for one of them to save Changma. This is our only viable option at the moment. Guli nodded. We don't have any better ideas. This is a huge trap. We know it, but we still have to step into it. Remnant said. If we can get past it, we can leave Taiguan. However, we must ensure that nothing goes wrong. If we can't and one of us falls, Everyone will fall into it. This question silenced everyone once again. Once all of them fell into it, they did not even dare to imagine what it would mean. Skies I had never failed before. This was something they had always been proud of. Now they were facing the successor of the flying ape fist. A man whose strength they could not determine even now. This was really troublesome. As the saying goes, know thyself and know thy enemy to be victorious in every battle. This was probably a situation Skies I had never encountered before. They had no idea what kind of situation they were facing. They did not even know their opponent's strength. So what was the point of knowing thyself and know thy enemy? They had already lost in terms of mental state alone. Remnant was well aware of everyone's current state of mind. They had all fallen into an unprecedented predicament. Skies I had never been in such a state after so many missions. They had faced all kinds of difficulties, but never in such a situation where they did not know what to do. This was the first time someone had been controlled. Just this alone was enough to make them feel helpless. No matter what, saving Changma is the first thing we need to do. Nianyi said. I won't hesitate even if I have to trade my life for it. If it were that simple, you wouldn't have to say it. Guli said. No one wants to see Changma like this. Nianyi, if you're still so irrational, I suggest you withdraw from this mission. Nianyi's constantly fluctuating emotions were difficult to control. Withdraw? The four of us are already in a difficult situation. And you want me to withdraw? Guli, do you still want to save them? We must save them. But our bola must also be protected. Guli said. If you can't calm down, then take advantage of the time when we're saving people to find a chance to leave Taiguan. Don't leave us with nothing. Impossible. Nianyi immediately vetoed the idea. If I had the chance to get out of here, would we still need to waste time? If I were to leave now, it would be the same as pushing all of you into a fire pit. I can't do that. If you want to leave, then leave. I'm definitely not leaving. I'm just thinking about the bigger picture. Guli said. If you were stronger than me and Jiesu, I wouldn't have let you go. But that's not the problem. If you stay here, you won't have as much meaning as if I'm here. But if you protect your things and find a way to escape, it doesn't matter who does it. Nianyi clenched her fists. I'll say this one more time, I won't leave. If you want to leave, leave on your own. If I don't save Changmo, I swear I won't rest. We will save Changma. Kangkong emphasized. But Guli's suggestion does make sense. Nianyi ignored him. What bullsh *t sense is there? In this situation, there's still a certain amount of risk if all four of us go together. Now you want me to leave? That means he's already considered the situation if we fail. That's why he's making this arrangement. But let me tell you, we can't fail to save Changma. Absolutely not. Then you should have some rationality. Guli insisted. You can't control your own actions now. Even if you go, you'll only cause trouble for us. So it's the right decision for you to take the things and leave. Kangkong, you're the person in charge of this mission. If you give this order, he must listen. Nianyi waved her hand. No matter who it is today, I won't listen. If you want me to calm down, I can calm down. But I definitely won't leave. Kangkong gestured for the two to stop arguing. Arguing would only make their minds even more irrational. Both of you need to calm down. Guli, I know you're thinking about the bigger picture. But if you ask him to leave now, he definitely won't leave. Jiesu said. You can try to convince yourself to take the things and leave. If you can, then I'll admire you. If you can't even convince yourself, then it's even more impossible for you to convince him to leave. Guli fell silent as well. Just as Jiesu had said, he was trying to convince himself to leave with Arbola. However, no matter how many reasons he came up with for himself, he had 100 reasons to reject him. It seemed that Jiesu was right. If Guli could not convince himself, he would not be able to convince Nianyi. Changma's capture had indeed caused everyone to lose their cool. Not only had it affected Nianyi's emotions, it had also affected Guli's mind. He could no longer consider the problem comprehensively. Kangkong was also in a predicament. He dared not make any rash decisions anymore. It was not that he was afraid of shouldering the responsibility, but he was worried that any problems would arise. Right now, Any problem could cause them to fall into the abyss of eternal damnation. Every decision he made was as if he was treading on thin ice. This greatly affected Remnant Void's judgment. The impact of this incident on them was too great. The only person who was not affected by it was probably Jiesu himself. Jiesu thought for a long time before speaking. I think that all three of you need some time to calm down. I'll go around the Three Lotus Association and find out what's going on. Don't worry, I won't do anything rash. Out of all of us, I'm the one you should trust the most. The three of them fell silent. Jiesu was right. Under any circumstances, he would always be the calmest one. His emotions would never fluctuate too much because of anything. He would never do anything rash because he did not seem to be in the state of being rash at all. All right, off you go. Kangkong finally agreed. You're right. All three of us need some time to calm down and think about what we need the most right now. If we can't even take care of ourselves, we can forget about saving others. Jiesu did not say anything else. He got up and left, leaving the three expressionless people sitting where they were. Guli tried to think of ways to clear his messy mind. Nianyi, on the other hand, kept telling herself to calm down and face reality. Kangkong, on the other hand, needed to let go of everything and let himself be in a completely empty state. Only then could he make the most accurate judgment. He could not let anyone affect him. All three of them needed their own space and time to make adjustments. This was one of the things that they were not as good as Jiesu. Jiesu had been like this since he was young. He seemed to only have one emotion. Happiness, anger, sorrow, and joy were all in this state. He would not forget himself because of happiness, nor would he be at a loss because of grief. This was one of Jiesu's natural advantages. He knew how to control his emotions better than anyone else. In other words, he was not naturally sensitive to emotions. He did not care about things like emotions at all. This kind of person was usually the one who reacted best when faced with a difficult situation. This was also the reason why Jiesu was always assigned a mission. When faced with a difficult situation, he was another invisible commander. At times like this, even Kangkong would give him enough support. He was the only one who could control everyone's emotions. This was not the first time they had been in such a situation. It was just that the situation this time was more serious. Therefore, they needed more time. Jiesu's departure made the three of them realize that they needed to listen to Jiesu's opinion. Chapter 23-29. Jiesu was the least talkative among them. He had always been like this since he was young. When Jiesu first came to Heaven's Eye, he was more antisocial than the others. While the others would be grateful for their new life, Jiesu did not accept it. For a long time, Jiesu even hoped that he would die. He did not think that coming to Heaven's Eye was a form of release. Instead, he thought that it was another form of imprisonment. That was why he still had no hope of a soul. His heart was still dark. Jie had always pretended to be himself, wrapping himself in a protective shell of his own creation. His father had said that only when he rid himself of his fears and shed his disguise could he become a real person. Before that, he could not be considered a person with a soul and thoughts. It took Jiesu 3 years to walk out of his disguise. He liked his name very much, rid himself of his fear, and shed his disguise. Even so, he was still the quietest person in Heaven's Eye. He had always been that way. Although he had adapted to his role and found his soul, he could not change his personality in a short time. However, 3 years was enough for everyone to get used to his personality. No matter when, no one would ignore Jiesu even if he did not speak. That was because he was always like that. He would always silently sacrifice for the people around him. Time and time again, he would finally gain everyone's recognition and trust. Now that everyone's hearts had suffered a devastating blow, Jiesu once again stepped forward and helped everyone with what he was best at. It was not that Jiesu was emotionless. He had been like this for so many years that he had forgotten what emotions were. He would worry about Chang Emo and Arbola's weapon. He would also be fearful of the situation they were facing. However, he would quickly digest all of that. He was a person who could purify his own soul in 3 years. Therefore, there was nothing that he could not change in a short time. Jiesu was such a person. He would always be such a person. Heaven's Eye's mission was to look at the sky when things were going well. It required a lot of ingenuity. However, in times of adversity, it was up to Jiesu. Everyone knew this, including Jiesu himself. At times like this, he had to step forward bravely to control the situation. Even though Jiesu's inner world was completely blank, he still had to grit his teeth and let everyone see hope. Only hope could change, and only change could give people hope. Everything Jie Hypocrisy did was to let others see hope and make adjustments and changes. He needed this kind of influence to truly find hope. Hopefully he wouldn't be able to solve it alone. He would need all of them to work together. When the brothers were of one heart, their sharpness could cut through metal. Only when everyone's strength was gathered together would they have the opportunity to break through this difficult situation. Jiesu sneaked closer to the Three Lotus Association to find out if there were only those two experts. If there were only those two experts, they still had a chance. If there was a third expert, it would be difficult. The four of them still had a chance of winning against the two experts. If there was another expert who was on par with them, they would have no chance of winning. The dusk sun shone on the earth, giving people a kind of golden haze. This kind of artistic conception was enough for poets to write poems and singers to compose songs. However, this didn't make Heaven's Eye's brothers feel any good. Although they had already calmed down, their hearts were still uneasy. Jiesu finally rushed back. When they saw Jiesu, the three of them didn't know why, but it was as if they suddenly saw hope. Perhaps this was just a psychological state. In reality, their situation hadn't changed at all. However, their mentality was different, and so was the way they looked at things. When faced with a situation with determination, they would be filled with anticipation and energy. Since you've all calmed down, let's not waste any more time. Jiesu's aura was still very strong. On the way back, he knew that as long as he was confident enough, the others would have the same confidence. If we want to save people, now is the time. Now. Kangkong was stunned. Jiesu nodded. That's right, now is the time. According to their normal thinking, if we want to save people, we'll definitely wait until nighttime. After all, people's psychological defenses are at their lowest at night. When they have this kind of awareness, it'll be more difficult for us to act at night. Why don't we act now, when they're least prepared? This made sense. Kangkong Li nodded. Now is indeed a good opportunity. They'll think that if we act during the day, we would have already done so. Since it's already dusk, they'll definitely wait until the night is quiet. A few hours won't make a difference. That's right. Jiesu said. All four of us will go. None of us can be left behind. I've been watching them for a long time. They only have two powerful fighters and no third person. This is an opportunity for us. Nianyi raised her head and stared fixedly at Jiesu. We're well aware of the strength of those two. They're both powerful fighters but will have the advantage of 2 against 1. Jiesu said. I don't believe that their 2 fists can stop 4 of us. We don't need anyone to take care of Changma. According to my analysis, she shouldn't be hurt. She can take care of herself. Nianyi gritted her teeth and said. If Su Yin dares to harm even a single hair on Changma's head, I'll tear him apart with my own hands. Kangkong, I'll leave Su Yin to you and Nianyi. Because we don't know how powerful Su Yin is, I'm not sure if you'll be able to fight him one-on-one. However, I believe that with Nianyi's help, he'll definitely not be a match for the 2 of you. Jiesu said. Leave the young man with the flying ape fist to Gu Li and me. We'll deal with him as soon as possible. Gu Li and Feng Luo had already exchanged blows. Although Gu Li was at a disadvantage, he was only slightly inferior. With Jiesu's help, he believed that taking down the other party would not be a problem. All right, Gu Li said. He was also looking forward to his second fight with the other party. After all, this was one of the most powerful fighters he had ever encountered. It was his fortune to have the chance to encounter the flying ape fist, a fist technique that was publicly acknowledged to have disappeared. Kangkong glanced at Nianyi. None of us know how powerful Su Yun is, so the 2 of us must be cautious. We mustn't underestimate him. I know, Nianyi said. Don't worry, I won't give him a chance so easily. The 4 of us have never lost to anyone. Whether it was in South America or the African grasslands, we've gone through fire and water together so many times and we've never failed. Guli said. I admit that I was wrong. I shouldn't have let Nyenyi go. As long as the four of us work together, no difficulty can stop us. That's right. As long as we work together, Kangkong said. Let's show them what we're capable of. Kangkong said, we Sky's Eye will never admit defeat. The four of them put their right hands together and cheered for each other. At the same time, they were also cheering for themselves. They had to hold on. If they could hold on, they would win. Kangkong said. Everyone get ready to move. This is a battle we can't lose. As long as we win, we can leave successfully. Whether it's Changemo or the Ebola virus weapon, we won't give up. Sky's Eye is invincible. Every one of them was confident that they could make it to the end. Because they had never failed, they had this confidence. Because of this confidence, they were able to obtain the final victory every time. No matter how difficult the conditions were, no matter what kind of difficulties they encountered, they would always win in the end. That's right, they would always win. Guli hid the Ebola virus weapon well. There were few people in this area, so it would not be discovered in a short period of time. He only needed to make a small mark on the tree trunk. It would be much easier to come back and look for the weapon after the deed was done. After everything was done, the four of them were ready to go. Victory was waiting for them. Lady Luck would also take care of them. This was something they firmly believed in. The four of them quickly disappeared. They were like four agile cheetahs as they dashed towards the place where their prey was gathered. They went to the place where their prey was gathered and won their final prize. Chapter 23:30. Changemo had been left alone in her room for an entire day. Other than breakfast and lunch, food would be sent to her. Until now, she had not heard any sound or movement from Suyun. She had no idea what was going on. There were several times when Changemo opened the door, but the two people at the door did not hesitate to block her way. Every time, Changemo suppressed the anger in her heart. She told herself to hold it in. She had to hold it in. After a few hours, when her vital energy could flow freely, she would teach these two bastards a lesson. Just as Changemo was trying to force her vital energy, the door was knocked twice and then pushed open. It was the same person who sent her food. What is Suyun trying to do? Changemo said angrily. It's been an entire day. You don't even let me out. What are you trying to do? I've had enough. I'm sorry, Mississippi. You're not a guest in the Three Lotus Association. The person who sent the food said. It's only because our brother Yin is kind enough to give you this opportunity. Otherwise, why do you think you're sitting here? You should be treated the same as that Gu guy. At this time, Gu Ming had completely given up resisting. He did not have the capital to continue resisting. The Three Lotus Association would not starve him to death. Every day, someone would send him food and water. After being imprisoned for so many days, he had lost all his energy. Now he was just waiting to be brought back to Hong Kong and Macau. Changemo snorted. Then go tell Suyun. If you want to capture me and keep me as a prisoner, then don't be so hypocritical. Hypocritical? Don't fail to appreciate kindness. Don't think of yourself as anything. According to our associations, miss, you should be locked up. This is all for Brother Yun's sake. Do you think it's for your sake? I don't need it. Changemo was furious. She directly threw all the food that was sent to the ground. She had had enough. She wanted to make some noise and let Suyun hear it. No matter what, even if someone showed off in front of her, it was better than leaving her here alone. This feeling had already stimulated Changmo's nerves. When Changemo was first sold to the Red Group, he was locked up like this for an entire week. Other than the person who delivered his meals, no one else could see him. Within a week, Changmo's entire person had changed. That kind of mental imprisonment could cause a person to completely collapse or even go crazy. You really don't want the face I gave you. Just as the man was about to say something, two muffled sounds suddenly came from outside the door. When he quickly turned around, he only saw a fist coming at his face. Then his vision turned black, and he completely lost consciousness. Bang! Changemo looked at the guy who had fallen to the ground in shock. When the four familiar faces appeared in front of Chang Emo almost couldn't hold back his tears. She really didn't expect them to appear here together. However, she quickly realized a problem. The fact that the four of them could enter so easily meant that this was definitely a trap. It was a trap. Why are you here? I'm the bait to lure you here. Are you stupid? Chang Emo reacted very quickly. She stared at Kang Kong in confusion because she believed that Kang Kong would be able to see through this trap. You shouldn't be here. Since they want to bait us, let's see if they have the ability to do so, Kang Kong replied. What kind of place haven't we gone through? Whether it's a dragon's pool, a tiger's den, or a mountain of blades and a sea of flames, we've always managed to escape alive. This time, don't tell me that we can't escape from a mere Three Lotus association? They're looking down on us, heaven's eyes. Guli said. Today, we'll show them who they shouldn't provoke. When Nianyi saw that Chang Emo was unharmed, she calmed down. Chang Emo, don't worry, I'll avenge you. I'll let that Su Yin know that you're our little sister. Anyone who dares to touch you will die. I believe that it's about time for them to show themselves. Jia smiled fakely. Chang Emo, take care of yourself. Charge out and look for something. Hide where you are, Guli's mark is there. Before Chang Emo could tell them that Su Yin had sealed her meridian points, and she was no different from an ordinary person, the four of them had already left the room. Chang Emo also chased after him. The five of them had just reached the courtyard when Su Yin walked out with a smile. You know that you can't escape, so you're not even trying to escape? I didn't think that you'd come out to meet us without any disguise or disguise at all. This time, they were not wearing masks and had appeared with their real faces. This was probably not good news for Su Yin. Anyone who sees us will die, Kang Kong replied. That's why there's no need for us to disguise ourselves. We're here to settle this once and for all. You're too confident, Su Yin replied. I know that everyone in Heaven's Eye is powerful. I invited Chang Emo here because I wanted to see just how powerful you guys are. Don't worry, I'm not as crazy as you guys are. I won't hurt anyone for no reason. She'll be fine. Nianyi laughed coldly. So you're saying that we should thank you? I didn't say that. Su Yin continued. Don't misunderstand me. I just want to ask, how's the protection of Arbola's weapon going? Since you're here to get her, have you brought the weapon with you? Otherwise, it won't be easy to step out of this door. Then let's see what kind of power you have to stop us. Guli smiled. Don't hide your helper anymore. Come out. We've fought before and you've seen me before. I don't care if you're the disciple of the Flying Ape Fist who doesn't care about worldly affairs or a dog who'll do anything for money. I'm going to settle this with you today. Feng Lu showed up as well. Su Yin had fulfilled his promise to him, and he would fulfill his promise to Su Yin as well. I'm counting on you for today's matter. Kill these bastards for me. Xiao Kaiyu had endured for an entire day and finally vented all his anger. You must take back what's mine. Think about what you want me to do, you understand? This was the first time Feng Lu spoke to Xiao Kaiyu in such a manner. Shut up. Xiao Kaiyu was stunned. He wanted to say something, but he was pulled to the wall by Wu Yuandong. If you want to see them win, then shut your mouth. Okay, I'll shut up. Xiao Kaiyu wanted to get angry, but he remembered that Feng Lu wasn't by his side. If Wu Yuandong really attacked him, then he would be at a disadvantage. A wise man knows better than to fight when the odds are against him. Xiao Kaiyu wouldn't do such a stupid thing. The atmosphere at the scene was chilling. Lin Suyin had never been so nervous before. She was really worried about Su Yin. Was it really possible for the two of them to win against the four experts? Wu Yuandong was injured and couldn't help at all. The other hall master's strength couldn't be compared to theirs. Lin Suyin was anxious. She couldn't help Su Yin at all. If only she could take care of things on her own. Changma, you go first, Guli said. Your mission is to protect the things we need to take away. Changma gritted his teeth. I'm not leaving. If you guys don't leave, then I won't leave. Plus, I can't leave at all. Su Yin used silver needles to seal my qi. I can't circulate my qi until the time is up. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. They never thought that Su Yin would have such a trick up his sleeve. That was far too terrifying. Su Yin, how dare you use such a despicable method? How dare you lay your hands on a girl? Nian Yi roared angrily. Let's see if you're a man. Come, fight me. As she spoke, Nian Yi made her move. Kang Kong was still unaware of Su Yin's power, so he didn't dare to let Nian Yi make any rash moves. Since Nian Yi had made her move, he had no choice but to rise into the air and attack Su Yin. When Su Yin saw the two of them charging towards him, he immediately prepared to defend himself. He wasn't worried about Nian Yi but Kang Kong, who had attacked without a word. To put it bluntly, a barking dog doesn't bite. The kind that would suddenly give you a bite without making a sound was the kind that was impossible to guard against. Chapter 23:31. Nian Yi closed in on Su Yin with 3 consecutive attacks. All of them were aimed at his vital points. Su Yin did not parry or counterattack. Instead, he kept retreating and tolerating. It looked like he was at a disadvantage right from the start. However, in reality, Su Yin was doing this to prevent the other person from launching a surprise attack. Although Kang Kong was following closely behind, he did not act rashly. He followed closely behind Nian Yi and did not attack. Su Yin knew very well that the other party was like a lurking poisonous snake. It was fine if he did not make a move, but once he made a move, he would take his life. This guy was the one he truly needed to treat with caution. On the contrary, Nian Yi, who had a sharp and incisive attack, was not a truly ruthless character. He had already brought out all of his trump cards from the very beginning as he was impatient for success and wanted to cut Su Yin down at his feet. Not only did he not achieve the result he wanted, he had even exposed his true strength earlier, allowing Su Yin to quickly figure out his moves. The battle had already begun. Guli could not help but feel an itch in his hands. I haven't had enough of the last time we fought. Let's continue today. Feng Shou was provoked. Without another word, he revealed his stance. He would not show any mercy today. He could see the other party's motive for coming here. It was 2 against 1. He could not afford to lose. More importantly, the murderous aura from the 4 of them was very strong. Feng Shou could sense that the other party had no intention of leaving them alive this time. Feng Shou could not accept this feeling. Although he had no intention of killing, if the other party wanted his life, he would not show any mercy. Guli did not attack. With a glance, he signaled Jiesu to quickly move behind Feng Shou. The 2 of them instantly surrounded Feng Shou. Guli knew Feng Shou's speed very well. Hence, he had discussed with Jiesu. The 2 of them had to attack from the front and back. One from the top and one from the bottom. They had to try their best to distract the other party, so that Feng Shou's speed would be affected. If they fought normally, Guli did not have the confidence to gain any advantage. After all, Feng Shou's speed was a whole level higher than theirs. Moreover, Feng Shou's explosive power was shockingly terrifying. Once he hit a vital point, the damage they would have to endure was not to be underestimated. It was very likely that they would lose their lives. Do you have any shame? Bullying with numbers. When Xiao Kaiyu saw that the other 2 had begun to surround Feng Feng, he immediately became unhappy. I've seen shameless people, but I've never seen such shameless people. If you have people, you can go too. Chang Mo glared at Xiao Kaiyu coldly. Look carefully, do you have more people here or do we have more people? Xiao Kaiyu was taken aback. Indeed, they had the advantage in numbers. Almost all of the 3 Lotus Association's capable fighters were present. However, these people were no match for the other party. They would only be throwing their lives away if they went up. There was no suspense. It's not that you don't have people, it's just that your people are all afraid of death. Chang Mo said without hesitation. Xiao Kaiyu's face was flushed red. He looked at Lin Suyin and Wu Yuandong and said, "Let your people go. There are so many people in your 3 Lotus Association. Are they all freeloaders? You don't even dare to stick your head out when something happens, and you still have the nerve to say that you guys are too bent?" Lin Suyin did not even look at Xiao Kaiyu. "If there's anything you can do to help, Boss Qiao, keeping your mouth shut is the best help you can give them. Miss, don't deal with people who can be influenced by a little girl's words." It's lowering our IQ, Wu Yuandong said impatiently. Wu Yuandong said impatiently. Now that Feng Shou had already made his move, it wasn't something that Xiao Kaiyu could stop whenever he wanted to. Now, as long as they could defeat Heaven's Eye, they would immediately become enemies. Only the final victor would have the right to obtain Arbola. Of course, there was still a battle between them, but it did not matter if they fell out now. Xiao Kaiyu glared at the two of them angrily, but he could not say a word. He knew very well in his heart that they would soon become strangers. Su Yin was still retreating. Although he seemed to be at a disadvantage, he was not losing by much. Feng Feng, on the other hand, had fallen into a bitter battle with the two. Feng Feng, who was attacked from both sides, relied on his superhuman speed to deal with the two's strong attacks. Gu Li's fierce attacks and Jiesu's gentle attacks complemented each other, making it very difficult for Feng Feng to deal with them. Although on the surface, Feng Feng did not seem to be at a disadvantage, and was even coping better than Su Yun, in reality, that was not the case. The two's attacks were rapidly depleting Feng Feng's stamina. This caused Feng Feng to expend a lot of stamina, and this kind of consumption would cause him to fall into exhaustion in a short period of time. The Flying Saratobi Fist was all about explosive power. If one did not have enough stamina to rely on and back it up, there was no guarantee of explosive power. Therefore, Feng Feng's current situation was not as optimistic as it seemed. Feng Feng also realized the situation he was in. He wanted to get out of this situation as soon as possible, but Gu Li and Jiesu did not give him the chance to do so. They always maintained a formation with one at the front and one at the back. Unless Feng Feng used Su Yun's method of retreating from the beginning, he would not be able to guarantee that he would not be attacked from both sides. Once he fell into a positional battle, it would be impossible to change the situation. Su Yun's situation was much better than Feng Feng's. At least he maintained his stamina, and did not fall into a bitter struggle. Su Yun was waiting for an opportunity. Waiting for a suitable opportunity, he would be able to make his move. As long as he could deal with one of the two, he would be able to control the situation. This was something that Su Yun needed to be calm and patient to be able to deal with. The only person who had the same patience as Su Yun was Kangkong. He was also waiting for a chance to kill in one strike. However, Su Yun was simply too cautious. He was so cautious that he could not find a suitable opportunity. Both of them knew very well what was the best way to deal a fatal blow. Lin Suyin had been sweating profusely for Su Yun. She did not understand why Su Yun kept retreating. Su Yun seemed to have been forced into a corner by one of his opponents. If the other person were to attack, he would lose completely. Yang Qi was also worried for Su Yun. He could not lose, he definitely could not lose. The current situation was like this. Su Yun's situation made people anxious, but he was not in any danger. Feng Feng's situation seemed to be on par with the other two, but he could be in fatal danger at any time. Nianye's attacks were becoming more and more chaotic because she could not hurt Su Yun. Su Yun knew that his chance would come soon. Focus. Don't lose your footing. Kangkong saw through Su Yun's intentions and quickly reminded Nianyi to adjust her attacks. However, Nianye's eyes were bloodshot, and he wanted to use his next attack to kill Su Yun. Under such circumstances, Su Yun could find an opening at any time. How could Kangkong not be anxious? Finally, Su Yun's chance had arrived. When Nianye's all-out attack had failed, he was so enraged that he did not leave any defensive preparations for himself. He faced Su Yun head-on and used the silver snake leaves its hole. This attack may have been swift and deadly, but Nianyi, who was in the air, had no way of defending himself. It could be said that the back of his neck was exposed to the air. As long as the other party was sharp enough to notice this, he could dodge this fatal attack, and use the silver snake strike 7 inches, and Nianyi would lose his ability to fight. After all, the back of a person's neck was a very weak spot. Many martial cultivators' lifeline and weakness was located there. Nianyi did not listen to Kangkong's advice and made the wrong choice. Su Yun was sharp enough to notice this as well. Just as Nianye's weakness was exposed, Su Yun chose to switch from defense to offense. He used his left hand to summon the cloud hand to neutralize Nianye's deadly attack. His right elbow then aimed for the back of Nianye's neck. At this moment, Kangkong finally made his move. He did not have the chance to attack. All he could do was grab Nianye's ankle, which was still suspended in the air, and pull it back fiercely. He then borrowed the force of the attack and flung Nianye out of the way. Su Yun's fatal elbow strike was also reduced to nothing in an instant. Even though Nianye looked as if she had been flung out of the way by Kang Kong, the truth was that Kang Kong had saved Nianye's life. If Su Yun's attack had hit Nianye, Nianye would have lost consciousness and the ability to fight. In the worst-case scenario, she might even lose her life. Nianye, who had been flung out of the way by Kang Kong, regained her balance and landed on the ground. Her heart was still filled with lingering fear. If Kang Kong had not reacted in time, the consequences would have been unthinkable. Chapter 2332. Su Yun's attack had failed, and he switched from offense to defense once again. He would not let the loss of an opportunity cause him to lose his mind. However, Kang Kong's reaction had indeed shocked Su Yun. Su Yun never thought that Kang Kong would have such quick reflexes. Kang Kong's powers of observation and judgment were definitely top-notch as well. To be able to sense the danger before Su Yun had even made his move and make such a timely judgment, he was no ordinary person. The onlookers felt that it was a pity that his attack had failed. Wu Yuandong clenched his fist and punched the air fiercely. He was furious that he could not be of any help. If only he had been of some use, Su Yun would not have had to fight so hard. That was such a good opportunity. Once Su Yun had taken care of it, victory would have been set in stone. Now that the two opponents have raised their guard against Su Yun, it would be extremely difficult for them to get another chance like that. Nianye broke out in cold sweat from the shock of that close call. He had also become much more clear-headed. He's very powerful. You can't do this, you'll be in danger. Chang Emo was also shocked by the thrilling scene just now. She could see that Nianye was anxious, but being anxious was not the solution to the problem. If she couldn't calm down, Su Yun would find another opportunity like this. Nianye calmed himself down and slowly nodded. He would not make the same mistake again. Kang Kong now has a preliminary understanding of Su Yun. Su Yun's power was definitely not weaker than any of them. It could even be said that Su Yun was definitely stronger than him. What was even more frightening was that Su Yun had a very calm mind. To put it simply, Su Yun may be well aware that his power was above any of them, but he did not show any signs of arrogance, nor did he have any intention of underestimating his opponent. This was the most frightening thing to Kang Kong. This was definitely the most frightening enemy that Kang Kong had ever faced in his life. It was not only Nianye but also himself. Both of them could not afford to make any mistakes in their fight against Su Yun. Any mistake could lead to the loss of their lives or that of their companions. Su Yun was too smart, much smarter than Feng Luo. He knew when to strike and when to endure and retreat. This was the most difficult aspect of Su Yun to deal with. Kang Kong clenched his fists as he stared fixedly at Su Yun. Nianye no longer dared to act blindly without thinking. The earlier danger had made her aware of the difference between her and her opponent. Hence, she kept reminding herself to be patient. He had to be patient. Su Yun was also quietly facing off against the other party. If the enemy didn't move, he wouldn't move either. This was the most important point of fighting with a few people. If the other party hadn't even made a move yet, and he had already lost his footing, then that would truly be a tragedy. The difference between the Cold War here and the intensity of the other side was really too big. Guli had relied on his ability to suppress Feng Luo and created many opportunities for Jiesu. Jiesu had not missed a single opportunity and had tried his best. Unfortunately, Feng Luo was simply too fast. Every time, he would be able to dodge his attacks by a hair's breadth. It was a good thing that Jiesu was able to adjust his mentality very quickly. He would not feel defeated because of his repeated misses. This also gave them the confidence to persevere. This way, Guli would be able to keep his spirits up. As long as Jiesu did not give up, he would continue to trust him and believe that he would seize the opportunity sooner or later. What they needed to do was to wear Feng Luo down. Feng Luo, who had lost his explosive power, would definitely not be able to maintain his current speed. As long as he no longer had the advantage in speed, The final victory would belong to them. After realizing the other party's intentions, Feng Luo gave up on the initiative to attack. He was trying his best to reduce the consumption of his energy. Feng Luo began to slowly learn from Su Yun. When he could dodge, he would dodge. When he could, he would dodge. When he could, he would dodge. He would no longer attack recklessly. Without absolute certainty and without the best timing, he would have to conserve his energy. This was a battle of attrition. It was impossible for either side to end the battle quickly. The final victory belonged to the patient side. The sunset made the fallen leaves in the courtyard look extremely bleak. It was autumn. The autumn wind rustled and made the sun set in the west feel slightly cold. Even so, everyone's forehead was still covered in sweat. They were all working hard for the same goal. 10 minutes had passed. Su Yun was still unable to see through Kangkong's strength. This was the most unknown uneasiness in his heart. Kangkong was like a poisonous snake. Su Yun did not dare to test whether the poison was fatal or not. Chang Emo seemed to be more nervous than anyone else. Almost every 10 seconds, she would try to see if she could break the seal on her acupuncture points. If she could circulate her qi, the situation would definitely turn for the better. After all, Chang Emo was not someone to be trifled with. Although she was completely defeated by Su Yun, her participation in this battle would definitely bring about a great change. However, this was not a problem that she could solve just because she wanted to. That was why she was so anxious. You go. Xiao Kaiyu saw Feng Luo continuously retreating and was extremely angry. Just a moment ago, they were still evenly matched. Now he was suddenly losing ground. What was this guy trying to do? Feng Luo ignored Xiao Kaiyu. He did not dare to be distracted because he knew that these two people would attack at any time. I'm talking to you. Can't you hear me? Xiao Kaiyu said angrily. If you don't hurry up and take care of them, I'll immediately get someone to kill that disgusting ape. That's enough. Feng Luo was angry. The snow ape is no longer in your hands. Do you think I don't know? Don't use the snow ape to threaten me. Otherwise, I won't give you face anymore. Xiao Kaiyu was stunned. He only found out yesterday that the ape had been rescued. The logging company was also caught in the whirlpool of investigation, and all of their operations had stopped. Where did Feng Luo get this information? He was a guy who didn't even know how to use a phone. Xiao Kaiyu gave him an iPhone before bringing him to Taiwan. In the end, he didn't even know how to unlock it. How did he get the news so quickly? Just shut your mouth. Don't make things difficult for yourself. Lin Suyin impatiently waved her hands at the two people. The two people immediately walked towards Xiao Kaiyu. Before Xiao Kaiyu could react, one of them directly restrained him. The other person took out a piece of white cloth from who knows where and directly stuffed Xiao Kaiyu's mouth. No matter how Xiao Kaiyu struggled, the person behind him did not let go. Xiao Kaiyu's entire face was red. His eyes were red with anger. This was the biggest humiliation he had ever suffered in his life. One must know that in the past, when he came to Taiwan, people in Taiwan all worshipped him. This was because they all knew that he was the god of wealth. The god of wealth came to launder money. Those who wanted to earn money naturally had to respect him. Therefore, Xiao Kaiyu had long been used to being a tyrant in Taiwan. Today's scene was definitely something he would never have imagined in his entire life. Lin Suyin had wanted to do this for a long time. However, due to Feng Luo's strength, she didn't let anyone do it. When she heard that Feng Luo was about to turn hostile, she let people do it. As long as Feng Luo didn't help him, then he Xiao Kaiyu was nothing in front of the Three Lotus Group. Feng Luo's emotions were affected and stirred up. When he thought about how the snow ape must have suffered these few days, he became uneasy. Do it. Gu Li seized the opportunity and ordered. Jie Yi's crafty leg technique directly attacked Feng Luo's lower body. Feng Luo was shocked. He quickly jumped into the air and dodged. At the same time, Gu Li's fist came from behind. The two people's flawless cooperation caused Feng Luo to fall into a situation where he couldn't escape. No matter which method Feng Luo chose, he would be hit by one of them. At the same time, Kangkong also finally made his move. He made his move so that Su Yun wouldn't have the time to care about other people's business. This was a good opportunity for Gu Li and Jie Yi. Kangkong definitely wouldn't let Su Yin ruin it. He definitely wouldn't let Su Yin have the chance to save him. Facing Kangkong, who took the initiative to attack, Su Yin didn't choose to escape. He met the attack head-on. He wanted to see what kind of strength Kangkong had. The 6 people from both sides made their moves at almost the same time. The quiet sunset's dusk seemed to have suddenly turned into a storm. The withered leaves on the ground were like a tornado that swept through the sky. The air in the courtyard was filled with the smell of killing intent. Everyone seemed to have held their breaths at this moment. Chapter 23-33. Faced with Kangkong's sudden attack, Su Yin had no intention of backing down. He faced Kangkong's attack head-on, completely ignoring Nian Ye's pincer attack from the side. Even though Nian Ye was quite powerful, she was a little timid due to the thrilling experience earlier, and did not dare to act rashly. It was because Su Yin had seen this point that he had unscrupulously focused more than half of his energy on dealing with Kangkong's attacks. On the other hand, Feng Lu could not dodge the attacks from the front and back at the same time. He could only choose a method that was beneficial to him. The only thing Feng Lu could do now was to minimize his own injuries while inflicting the greatest damage to his opponent. Feng Lu gave up on defending against Jie Su, and allowed his lower body to be attacked. He circulated his qi and attacked Gu Li with all his might. This was the best decision he could make in a short period of time. Gu Li was slightly stronger than Jie Su. Severely injuring Gu Li would reduce the pressure on him. Although Jie Su's attacks were gentle, the damage they inflicted on him was not fatal. Feng Lu gritted his teeth and endured the injuries Jie Su inflicted on him. Both Feng Lu and Gu Li were injured at the same time. Gu Li was hit in the chest by Feng Lu's heavy punch. He flew out like a kite with a broken string. Feng Lu was also stabbed in the leg by Jie Su's dagger. He lost control of his lower body and knelt on the ground. If Feng Lu had not rolled away, his throat would have been slit by Jie Su's dagger. Although he avoided the fatal attack, Feng Lu's leg was trembling violently because of the heavy injury. The sharp dagger caused the injury to be very serious. It was difficult for Feng Lu to even stand up. Gu Li was probably in the worst condition right now. He spat out a mouthful of pus and blood. His internal organs felt like they were tumbling. What a heavy punch. The flying Sarutobi fist was truly worthy of being called the hardest punch to endure. The impact penetrated Gu Li's chest. Only the person who was injured would know the internal injuries it caused. Gu Li. Chang Mo saw this and quickly rushed forward. This gave Feng Lu a chance to catch his breath. Jie Su was afraid she would be hurt, so he could only give up on pursuing Feng Lu, and quickly stood in front of Chang Mo. Gu Li struggled to stand up and said to Chang Mo, "I'm fine. It's dangerous here. You should leave." "You're injured," Chang Mo said. "You can't go on like this." Gu Li was injured, but Feng Shou was also forced into a corner by them. For Yuan Fei Quan, who relied on explosive power and speed, Feng Shou's leg being injured was a catastrophic blow. Without speed and explosive power, Wind Sweep had lost his sharpest weapon. Therefore, Gu Li believed that this punch was worth it. As long as he could continue fighting, he would be able to create a chance for Jie Su to defeat Feng Rui. The first confrontation between Su Yin and Remnant ended in a flash. Due to the intense situation on Wind Sweep's side, no one had been able to clearly see what had happened between Su Yin and Remnant. Remnant's originally expressionless face became even more gloomy, as expected of an expert. Even the ultimate move his father taught him didn't have any effect. Although it was only an instant, Remnant had used all sorts of sinister methods. His attacks were all aimed at Su Yin's throat, back of his head, waist and crotch. This made Su Yin feel a little overwhelmed. Luckily, Su Yin's reaction speed was still decent. That was why he didn't get knocked out by Remnant. "How are you? Are you okay?" Su Yin was more worried about Feng Shou. Feng Shou's leg was stabbed by a dagger. This was a huge blow to him. Su Yin knew that if Feng Shou couldn't hold on, he wouldn't be able to fight against the 4 of them alone. "I will definitely do what I promised you," Feng Shou said. "Even if I die today, I will take back what you want. You didn't go back on your words, so I have to keep my promise." Although Gu Li was injured, the other three were completely unharmed. Su Yun knew that if he wanted to keep the situation from collapsing, he had to make one of them fall as soon as possible. Su Yun quickly locked onto Nian Yi. Out of the four of them, Remnant was the most powerful. The most unpredictable was Gu Li and the most sinister was Jiesu. Nian Yi was the only one who hadn't been able to unleash her full potential due to her emotions. This was the only chance Su Yin could take advantage of. Just as Su Yin and Feng Shou were talking, Nian Yi saw her chance. This was the moment when Su Yin was distracted. This was another good opportunity for her. Nian Yi suddenly exploded. Her entire body shot forward and charged towards Su Yin without any warning. Nian Yi believed that Su Yin would not be able to guard against her. Instead, Su Yin pulled back his right leg and raised his knee. His left hand moved from the back to the front of his body. The palms of both his hands were turned up, and both his hands drew an arc before landing on both sides of his right knee. This was a Tai Chi technique. Just as Nian Yi was about to attack Su Yun's right foot landed on the front of his right. His body's center of gravity suddenly shifted forward into a right lunge. His hands formed fists and slid forward from both sides of his body into a pincer shape. Both fists were aimed directly at Nian Yi's ears. Even though this was a Tai Chi technique, Su Yun did not use it with any gentleness. He had changed his technique and used an extremely ferocious method to execute a Tai Chi technique. This pair of piercing ears was no joke. Nian Yi's ears instantly rang and her entire consciousness was cut off at that moment. As Su Yun's slow Tai Chi movements had misled Nian Yi, Su Yun's sudden change in technique did not give Nian Yi any chance to react. This time, Nian Yi was completely caught off guard, and was completely stunned by Su Yun's attack. Just as Nian Yi's consciousness was cut off, Su Yun suddenly threw a punch. His steady lower body made his entire body look like a huge bow and arrow. His fist shot out like an arrow and smashed heavily into Nian Yi's mouth, nose and chin. Nian Yi was still unconscious even as she was sent flying. Su Yun's series of movements were as smooth as flowing water. He did not give anyone the chance to participate in the battle. Nian Yi had walked right into the trap and was defeated by Su Yun in just 2 moves. Kangkong quickly flew forward to catch Nian Yi. Nian Yi only returned to his senses after landing on the ground. His consciousness had been cut off and he had no idea what had happened. However, his entire mind felt as if it had been turned into mush. Even his vision was a blur. Nian Yi, who was bleeding from his mouth and nose, could not say a word. He could only point a trembling finger at Su Yun. He wanted to tell Kangkong that this fellow's power was too terrifying. Kangkong was naturally aware of this. When they had exchanged blows earlier, Kangkong knew that unless Jiesu could join forces with him, they would not stand a chance at victory. Kangkong's reaction was also very quick. He did not waste any more words nor was he in a hurry to seek revenge on Su Yun. Instead, he immediately changed his direction and attacked Feng Luo. As long as Feng Luo was crippled, they would still stand a chance. Everything had happened too quickly. Even Su Yun could not stop it in time. When Feng Luo realized this, he knew that he could not escape. Now that Jiesu had just brought Chang Mo out of the danger zone, he was the closest to Gu Li. Gu Li had been injured by him earlier, so she was now the weakest point. Good. Even if he, Feng Luo, were to die here today, he would drag someone down with him. Feng Luo completely ignored Kangkong's attack. He locked onto Gu Li and attacked again. The moment Remnant Kong's palm hit his back, his fist once again landed a fatal blow on Gu Li's chest. Both Feng Luo and Gu Li spat out a mouthful of blood at the same time. Both of them fell to the ground. The two of them probably wouldn't be able to get up for a while. Normal people wouldn't be able to withstand a full blow like this. Even if they were both experts, it would be difficult for them to stand up in this situation. Their internal injuries would disrupt their meridians. If they could not adjust their breathing, they would fall unconscious. In an instant, 3 people had fallen. Feng Luo, Gu Li, Nian Yi. Every one of them was a top expert. However, in a battle between experts, victory and defeat was decided in an instant. No one could blame anyone else. It was not that Su Yun did not want to save Feng Luo. It was just that he was too far away. He had the will but not the strength. Furthermore, he had also noticed Jiesu's condition. Jiesu was like a cheetah. As long as Su Yin made a move, he would not hesitate to pounce on his prey. No one had expected the scene to be so tragic. Looking at this scene, the entire Three Lotus Association's courtyard was silent. Chapter 23:34. When Xiao Kaiyu saw Feng Luo lying on the ground with blood gushing out of the hole in his calf, he knew that they were done for today. Needless to say, this guy would be a cripple even if he stood up. He wouldn't be able to do anything at all. Kangkong didn't expect them to suffer such heavy losses either. Guli had taken 2 heavy blows from Feng Luo in a row. Needless to say, his internal injuries were severe. If he forced himself to circulate his qi, not only would he not be able to help them, he would even be in danger of dying from bleeding from his 7 orifices. Nianyi was also crippled by Su Yun's double wind-piercing ears. She would need at least a day or 2 to recover her consciousness. Apart from Kangkong and Jiesu, the rest of them had lost their ability to fight. Fortunately, Feng Luo was also considered a cripple. Su Yun was now alone. As the saying goes, 2 fists are no match for 4 hands. Kangkong and Jiesu were still at their initial fighting strength. Although Su Yun hadn't expended too much energy, he was still facing a difficult problem. Judging from the current situation, both Kangkong and Jiesu were extremely cautious. It was unlikely that Su Yun would be able to catch them off guard. If they fought 2 against 1, Su Yun would definitely be at a disadvantage. There was no doubt about that. Therefore, Kangkong and Jiesu didn't waste any more time coming up with a strategy. They only needed to remain cautious. As long as the 2 of them didn't separate, they would have an absolute advantage. Your helper is already crippled. Do we still need to continue? There's no point in continuing. You can't win against the 2 of us on your own, Kangkong said calmly. Kangkong said indifferently, if we stop now, it won't be a bad thing for you or for us. Su Yun smiled. Would heavens I still allow someone who has seen its true face to live? I'm afraid this is breaking the rules. It wasn't that Kangkong didn't want to kill them all. However, the problem they were facing now was more troublesome. Guli and Nianye's injuries were very troublesome. Nianye's specific injuries were still uncertain. Guli's severe internal injuries needed to be treated and healed as soon as possible. That was why Kangkong didn't want to continue fighting. If they could stop now, it would be beneficial for them. At least they could help Guli and Nianyi heal as soon as possible. Rules are dead, but humans are alive. Remnant Void said. There's nothing that can't be discussed. And you should know better than us that you really have no chance of winning. There was another reason why Remnant Void did not want to fight. If he and Jiesu were to get injured, it would mean that he would have to take care of everyone else. That would be an impossible task. That's hard to say. Su Yun, the sky was getting darker and darker, and the days of autumn were beginning to dwindle. There is only one condition for me to let you go. Take me to where Arbola is. Otherwise, don't even think about it. Are you really not afraid of death? Don't forget, if you die, the entire Three Lotus faction will be wiped out. This was perhaps the thing that Su Yun was most worried about. Now the only people that could make Su Yun apprehensive were the people from the Three Lotus Association. There are no cowards in the Three Lotus Association who are afraid of death. Lin Suyin scoffed. Don't use the Three Lotus Association as a condition to threaten us. The Three Lotus Association isn't meat on your chopping block. You can't do whatever you want with us. Remnant Void clenched his fists. I can tell you very clearly that nothing is more important than your own life. You'd better think this through. If we can't reach an agreement, I'll massacre the Three Lotus Association. We'll have to see if you have the ability to do that. Although Wu Yuandong was injured, he didn't hesitate to step forward. He couldn't let the people of Skies do whatever they wanted here. If they wanted to touch the people of the Three Lotus group, they would have to step over his dead body first. I'll make you regret this. Remnant Void laughed coldly. Su Yun was now on full alert. If Remnant Void and Jiesu made the slightest move, he would attack without hesitation. There's no medicine for regret in this world. Chang Emo added. Su Yun, leave yourself a way out. Leave the Three Lotus Association a way out. Leave us a way out. This is the best outcome for the 3 of us. There's no need to fight to the death. That won't benefit anyone. Xiao Kaiyu nodded vigorously when he heard this. Unfortunately, his opinion couldn't be heard by anyone. He couldn't speak and could only mutter along. I don't mind if we fight to the death, Su Yun said. As long as the fish can die, I'll just throw away this net of mine. What's wrong with that? Faced with Su Yun's mindset, Kang Kong knew that a peaceful negotiation was not going to work. Then let's see if the net breaks first, or if the fish dies first, Jiesu said coldly. Suddenly, he attacked Su Yun from behind. Su Yun had already noticed that Jiesu's moves were mostly sneak attacks. Moreover, they were very tricky and posed a great threat to others. However, Jiesu's moves weren't suitable for direct confrontation. Therefore, he attacked Su Yun directly. He didn't gain any advantage at all. Instead, he was caught off guard by Su Yun's unceremonious counterattack and was forced to retreat. Remnant Void couldn't care less when he saw this. He immediately joined the fight between the two of them. With the sudden addition of an expert like Remnant Wind, Su Yun's situation immediately changed. He immediately went from offense to defense and was at a disadvantage. With Remnant Void and Jiesu's skills, they could definitely force Su Yun to have no chance to fight back. If this situation continued for too long, it wouldn't benefit Su Yun at all. Once Su Yun made the slightest mistake, it would be an opportunity for the other party to take him down. Therefore, this was a huge test for Su Yun. Remnant Void and Jiesu's pincer attack circle was getting smaller and smaller. Su Yun's pressure was also increasing. When Jiesu's tricky kick swept past Su Yun's face, Remnant Void directly attacked Su Yun's waist from behind. Every move was a move that could take one's life. After more than 20 rounds, Su Yun could clearly feel the strain. Without a doubt, Remnant Void was definitely a level 7 or level 8 Grandmaster. Jiesu must also be an expert who had broken through to Grandmaster. Therefore, Su Yun found it more difficult to deal with them. After all, Su Yun had also used up a certain amount of energy earlier. Moreover, Remnant Void and Jiesu had rich combat experience. This was also a huge problem for Su Yun. What Su Yun needed to do now wasn't just a little bit. The two of them were taking turns to fight, causing Su Yun's stamina to be depleted more and more. If this continued, and no one came to help, Su Yun would probably be in big trouble. One person's physical exhaustion would always be greater than two people's. The two of them had a very clear goal. They wanted to exhaust Su Yun. This was the safest method for them. Although victory wouldn't come as beautifully or as uplifting, as long as they could win, they would do anything. Every move of Jiesu's was a killing move. Although his attacks were fast, he didn't dare to chain them together. Su Yun was a very strong deterrent to him. He didn't know which move Su Yun could make him become like Nianyi. Su Yun, watch out. Lin Suing kept reminding Su Yun. Every time she saw that the opponent was about to hit Su Yun, she would cry out. On the other side, Chang Mo kept cheering her two brothers on as well. Jiesu, run. Don't get caught up in the battle. Watch out for him. Remnant Void, surround him from the left. Don't give him any chances. No, you can't do that. You're in too much danger. The silent contest was disrupted by the women's voices. In this gradually darkening evening, the Three Lotus Association would definitely experience the greatest pressure this time. The winner takes all. Once Su Yun loses, the Three Lotus Association would be destroyed as well. Now Su Yun was in trouble because of the two of them. Remnant Void and Nianye's teamwork was becoming better and better. It was becoming more and more difficult for Su Yun to deal with them. Lin Suin's forehead was covered in sweat. She kept mumbling. Why aren't they here yet? Hurry up. It'll be too late if they don't come. At this moment, Su Yun was almost stabbed by Jiesu's dagger. He quickly took a few steps back. Before he could adjust his breathing, Remnant Void had already grabbed him by the throat. It was a good thing that Su Yun had reacted quickly. Otherwise, he would have been powerless to turn the tables. Chapter 23:35. Jiesu's dagger skills had reached the pinnacle of perfection. With every step he took, he slashed multiple times, and every slash was aimed at Su Yun's vital points. Anyone who played with daggers would know that daggers were all about speed, accuracy, and ruthlessness. Moreover, the technique of slashing multiple times in one step was even more ingenious and strange. It was impossible to guard against. His attacks were sharp and ruthless, and every move was fatal. Jiesu's dagger skills had reached the pinnacle after so many years of playing with daggers. With a dagger in hand, his heroic spirit would increase. Even if he was alone against a group of enemies, he would be like a ferocious tiger, unstoppable. Once the dagger was unsheathed, blood would be spilled. With a flash of his dagger, he had slashed multiple times. It looked ordinary, but in reality, it was filled with killing intent. It was extremely powerful. The first slash to the throat, the second to the chest, and the third to the crotch. Jiesu's dagger was like a whirlwind. While Su Yin was distracted by Remnant, he continued to stab multiple times. Each stab caught Su Yin off guard. Every slash, stab, and slash was frightening. The people watching from the side almost screamed out loud. Every time Jiesu's dagger slashed across Su Yin's face, Lin Suyin and Yang Qi's hearts were in their throats. They were afraid that Su Yin would fall into his trap if he wasn't careful. Anyone who knew the ropes could tell that most of Su Yin's attention was focused on Remnant. That was why Jiesu had the opportunity to use his dagger skills. Otherwise, Su Yin would not have allowed his opponent to push him to this point. If Su Yin had the chance, he would have killed Jiesu a long time ago. This dagger was already very dangerous when it came into contact with the user. On top of that, Jiesu's attacks were soft to begin with. The threat was too great. Unfortunately, Remnant did not give Su Yin any chance at all. As long as Su Yin's attention was on Jiesu, Remnant would press forward with his attacks, not giving Su Yin any chance to catch his breath. This way, Su Yin was in a very difficult situation. Remnant and Jiesu worked very well together. On top of that, Jiesu was much more focused than Yan Yi. He controlled his emotions very well. Therefore, Su Yin did not have any chance to break through their joint attack. This kind of continuous consumption of time and stamina would only cause Su Yin more and more trouble. Once Su Yin's physical strength was exhausted by the two of them, that would be the time when he was truly helpless. Remnant and Jiesu were aware of this as well. They constantly made adjustments to their attacks, attacking Su Yin with all their might every time. This way, they would not give Su Yin any chance to catch his breath. No matter what, the amount of stamina the two of them expended would always be much less than Su Yin's. Wu Yuandong could not bear to watch any longer. If this continued, Su Yin would be exhausted to death sooner or later. He suddenly joined the battle. The two of you are really despicable. If you have the guts, come and fight me one-on-one. Although Wu Yuandong had been injured during his battle with Feng Sua at Fisherman Street, he could not just watch as the two of them tormented Su Yin at this critical juncture. Everyone knew that Wu Yuandong was no match for them. If he had the ability, Su Yin would not have been so polite as to let him rest for so long. Wu Yuandong's goal was simple. Anyone who understood could understand it. Wu Yuandong wanted to use himself to attract one of their attacks. This way, he could buy time for Su Yin to deal with the other person. He did not think that he could win against Heaven's Eye. He only wanted to buy as much time as he could. This idea was simply too crazy. If Jiesu were to deal with Wu Yuandong, he would probably only need a few slashes in a single step, and Wu Yuandong would not be able to withstand it. Go back. I can handle this alone. When Su Yin saw Wu Yuandong, he was somewhat worried. With Wu Yuandong's current physical condition, it was basically equivalent to sending him to his death. He was using his own body as a shield for himself. Jiesu's eyes were bloodshot. He had attacked Su Yin many times but to no avail. He had entered a state of rage. Now that Wu Yuandong had jumped out, Jiesu was not going to let him go. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Jiesu's target suddenly shifted from Su Yin to Wu Yuandong. Just as Su Yin was about to stop him, Kangkong blocked in front of Su Yin. Your opponent is me. Now that Su Yin's attention was distracted by Wu Yuandong, it was definitely a good opportunity for Kangkong. Kangkong knew Jiesu's goal. Jiesu did not really want to kill Wu Yuandong. He wanted to slowly torture Wu Yuandong. He knew very well that every time he stabbed Wu Yuandong, Su Yin's attention would be diverted a little. This way, he would be able to create a better opportunity for Kangkong to attack. Actually, the best dagger user in heavens I wasn't Jia Faker at all. Jia Faker's dagger mastery was all because he had a brilliant instructor, and that person wasn't his father, but Remnant. The only person who could wield a dagger to perfection was Remnant. This man who had not used his dagger since the beginning had finally revealed his sharp dagger behind his back. He has a dagger. Lin Suyin immediately reminded Su Yun when she saw the cold glint. Kangkong didn't mind being exposed. As long as he could beat Wu Yuandong to a pulp, he didn't believe that Su Yun wouldn't do anything about it. As long as Su Yun gave him a chance, he definitely wouldn't let it go. He definitely wouldn't let it go. He would definitely let Su Yun know what it felt like to have a dagger tear his heart apart. Up until now, Kangkong had never met anyone who could escape from his dagger. It was a sharp tactical dagger, simple yet sharp. Even under the dim sky, the HP bar was exceptionally frightening. Su Yun smiled. This guy was finally willing to show his true strength. Su Yun wanted to see how strong the highest combat power in Heaven's Eye was, and whether it was worthy. A true expert will always hide their best skills until the end, Su Yun said calmly. Then let me see how you can use the dagger. The other party was armed. Lin Suyin couldn't bear to watch such an unfair confrontation. She ran back to her room as fast as she could and found a Mad Dog Advanced Tactical Assault Knife that her father had given her. It was given to her father by an officer who used to be part of the U.S. Navy SEAL team on the West Coast. After Lin Suyin found the dagger, she quickly ran out and shouted at Su Yun, "Take it. They're already using a dagger. Why are you still being polite with them? Kill them." Once this woman got angry, she was really something. Even Su Yun was shocked by Lin Suyin. When the dagger was thrown into Su Yun's hands, Su Yun came back to his senses and said, "Good dagger." Su Yun touched the dagger and knew that the handle had been designed with human function. It had a unique shape and was very comfortable to hold. The groove on the index finger allowed the user to find the position of the dagger, even if they could not see it. This was something that even the U.S. Navy SEALs had used before. Naturally, Su Yun was quite comfortable with it. "You're really something. You even have something like this." Su Yun played with the dagger in his hands for a while, then smiled at Kangkong and Jie Su and said, "If the two of you have something to say, just come at me. Don't bite whoever you grab. That's not something a human would do. Only dogs would do that." When Kangkong saw the way Su Yun held the dagger, he knew that Su Yun was also an expert with the dagger. It seemed like he had met his match today. "Since you know how to use a dagger too, let's have a game. Let's see whose dagger is better at killing." Kangkong snorted coldly. However, Jie Su had no intention of pointing his spear at Su Yun. His target was still Wu Yuandong. "Then I'll bury you first. Come at me, grandson. I'd like to see what you're capable of." Wu Yuandong did not back down. Just as Jie Su drew his dagger and was about to kill Wu Yuandong, a crisp sound rang out and hit the dagger in Jie Su's hand. Jie Su felt a numbing pain in his hand, and the dagger fell to the ground. Hey, if you have something to say, come at me. Why are you shouting in front of an injured person? This is called taking advantage of someone's perilous state. You're being too careful. I really didn't expect that this famous Heaven's Eye actually relies on doing this kind of thing to cheat money. Who is it? Jie Su shouted angrily. This hidden weapon was really ruthless. I'm Lin Ge, and I'll never change my name. If you have something to say, come and talk to me. Brother Yin is my brother. Brother Dong is also my brother. If you want to bully them, you'll have to kill me first. Lin Ji's sudden appearance alarmed everyone present. This is a turning point that will turn the situation around. Chapter 2336. Lin Suyin breathed a sigh of relief. On the night Su Yun arrived at Taiwan, Lin Suyin had called Lin Ge to ask why he was not here. After all, Lin Ge was Lin Sihai's godson, and Lin Suyin treated him like her own brother. Since Su Yun was here, it would be unreasonable for him not to come. Therefore, Lin Ge had agreed at the time, saying that he would come immediately after settling the matters at hand. Lin Ge did not know what had happened here. When Su Yun realized that he did not have enough helpers today, he had thought of calling Lin Ge to come over, but Suyin estimated that he would not make it in time. After all, after Sky's Eye intervened, most of Suyun's attention was focused on Arbola, and he did not think too much about other things. This was something he only thought of after forcing Liangshan. Suyin did not tell Lin Gu anymore, because he was worried that he would not be able to come in time if he found out, and it would only add to his troubles. Little did he know that Lin Suyin had already called Lin Gu a long time ago, and at that time, she did not want him to come over for help. She only wanted him to take some time out to play for a few days. Lin Gu was not in a hurry, and only booked a flight today after settling the matters at hand. Lin Gu did not inform anyone in advance because he wanted to come here to give everyone a surprise and Brother Yun a good time. Who would have thought that he would feel a strong murderous aura when he was still a few hundred meters away from the Three Lotus Association by taxi? This was a huge surprise for him. It was better to come at the right time than to come early. Lin Gu happened to bump into this matter. Faced with this new strong enemy, Kangkong and Jiesu were once again on alert. The victory that was about to be in their hands could be ruined by the slightest thing. Therefore, none of them dared to be careless, and none of them dared to act rashly. They looked at Lin Gu cautiously, trying to guess who this person who had suddenly appeared was. His use of hidden weapons was truly ruthless. Jie Wen finally found the hidden weapon on the ground. It was actually a 1 yuan coin. Soon, a look of surprise appeared on Jiesu's face. There was a very famous person who liked to use coins as hidden weapons, CFAIs. This meant that Lin Gu was clearly related to CFAIs, and the two of them were from the same sect. What's your relationship with the demon god Lu Xuanji? Jiesu asked cautiously. Kangkong was stunned when he heard this. Why would their people be involved in this? Lin Gu frowned. You know quite a lot. But I'm warning you, my master's name is. You'd better be careful with your words, in case I'm not to be turned. He had already turned hostile, so it was no big deal. After confirming that this kid was under Lu Xuanji's tutelage, Kangkong and Jiesu's expressions became more complicated. Lu Xuanji's strength was on par with their father's. This kid's strength was naturally very impressive. I'm afraid there's no conflict between us. You don't have to interfere, right? It won't be easy to get out of this mess, Kangkong warned. Lin Gu laughed. You're kidding, right? You've already caused a ruckus in Three Lotus Club, bullied my sister, and even wanted to fight my brother Yin. Do you think I'll just stand by and do nothing? What kind of person do you think I, Lin Gu, am? Well said, little brother. Lin Suyin said excitedly. After seeing Lin Gu, her heart that was hanging in the air finally returned to her stomach. This way, Su Yin would not be at a disadvantage anymore. Lin Gu touched his nose proudly and looked at Su Yin. Brother, you're really planning to abandon me this time. If Sister Suyin didn't call me to come to Taiwan for a few days, I wouldn't have made it in time for this show. This is fate. I just wanted you to rest, but you insisted on coming here to fight, Su Yin smiled. Then you'd better be careful. They're not simple. Lin Gu sized up Kangkong and Jiesu. These two were experts. Their strength should not be underestimated. Who are they? They're all from Heaven's Eye, Su Yin said. Oh, this is going too far. Lin Gu quickly put away his playful attitude. People from Heaven's Eye were really not to be underestimated. He had long heard about how mysterious people from Heaven's Eye were. Today he saw that they only had one nose and two eyes. There was nothing special about them. He had heard from CFAIs that he had been investigating Heaven's Eye for a while. However, he had not been able to find anything. He did not expect to be blocked by Brother Yun in the Three Lotus Association today. This was a rare opportunity. Since they're from Heaven's Eye, I really can't let them leave. Lin Gu became serious. He took off his backpack and threw it aside. Seeing Lin Ji's provocation, Jiesu changed his target. To be honest, the current Wu Yuandong could not withstand a single blow from him. Having a passable opponent was also a challenge for him. You must be careful. Although Wu Yuandong had managed to escape, he was still worried about their situation. This guy is extremely proficient. Don't fall into his trap, or else you'll be in danger. Lin Gu smiled. You're playing with daggers, right? Come, let me see what level you're at. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Gu made the first move. He had just joined the battle and was full of energy. Naturally, he wanted to use his advantage to pressure his opponent. This way, not only could he exhaust his opponent's energy, he could also quickly find his opponent's weakness. Due to Lin Ji's participation, Su Yun was completely freed. Facing Remnant alone, Su Yun suddenly felt unprecedentedly relaxed. However, even though he was relaxed, Su Yun was not going to underestimate his opponent. Remnant was really good at enduring. He only revealed his weapon when he wanted to end the battle quickly. The daggers in both Su Yun and Remnant's hands glowed faintly. They were waiting to be fed with the enemy's blood. Remnant didn't choose to wait this time. He chose to attack. When playing with daggers, it was very important to take the initiative. Remnant's body was like a bolt of lightning, leaving behind an afterimage in the air. Su Yun finally understood the origin of this guy's name. Although his speed wasn't as fast as Wind Sweep, the afterimages he left behind would always confuse the opponent. In that split second, Su Yun reflexively blocked the dagger. Then he heard a bang. Remnant's dagger directly stabbed into Su Yun's Mad Dog tactical assault sword. Su Yun took a few steps back to reduce the force of Remnant's attack. Remnant immediately followed up with a Dark Shadow 7 consecutive stabs. These 7 stabs were thrilling. The first stab was aimed at the lower abdomen, followed by a pull. Luckily, Su Yun's reaction was fast enough. Otherwise, his intestines would have been pulled out by a meter. The second stab was an upward slash, directly aimed at Su Yun's throat. Su Yun didn't have time to dodge, and could only use the dagger in his hand to block. Then the third stab was aimed at the chest. Su Yun was forced to retreat step by step. He had no choice but to defend. The fourth stab was a downward slash. It directly attacked Su Yun's head. These attacks were too vicious. Su Yun couldn't afford to make any mistakes. The fifth stab was aimed at his left temple. Su Yun dodged, but Remnant flipped his wrist, and the sixth stab was aimed at Su Yun's right temple. Su Yun didn't have time to dodge again, and raised his sword to block. The two swords collided and sparks flew. Finally, the seventh stab was aimed at Su Yun's face. After Su Yun's parry just now, all the openings in his face had been pulled apart. This was the best opportunity for Remnant to attack. When the tip of the dagger pierced towards Su Yun quickly stomped on the ground, and his entire body flew backwards at high speed. The tip of the dagger also chased after him relentlessly. The two of them flew into the air one after the other. Su Yun saw the opportunity to do a backflip and hook Remnant's wrist with his heel. Only then was he able to break Remnant's last stab. The 7 consecutive stabs were indeed not ordinary. If one wasn't careful, they would be killed without leaving a single piece of armor behind. It was only because Su Yun's reaction was fast. If it was anyone else, as long as the first stab cut open their lower abdomen, they definitely wouldn't be able to escape the remaining 6 stabs. Lower abdomen, lower jaw, chest, head, left and right temple, and face. If all 7 stabs hit, even if the King of Hell didn't want to accept the goods, he wouldn't be able to return the goods. Those who were injured by these 7 stabs would be sent to the netherworld, and there was no way to return the goods. Even Su Yun felt some lingering fear after dodging these 7 stabs. Chapter 2337. The power of Remnant Void's 7th stab was much higher than Jiesu's. Compared to Jiesu's 1 step of multiple stabs, Remnant Void could stab 7 times in half a step. Luckily, Su Yun did not panic. Facing Remnant Void's continuous attacks, Su Yun only used throat-piercing strike. The sharp blade in his hand stabbed towards Remnant Void's throat. Because Remnant Void's body was still leaning forward, he did not have the chance to dodge this attack. Remnant Void had no choice but to block with his blade. At this time, Su Yun's movements changed strangely, catching Remnant Void completely off guard. Su Yun's dagger turned around and directly slashed towards Remnant Void's wrist. Remnant Void did not have any time to react. Even though he tried his best to dodge Su Yun's attack, Su Yun's blade still dealt a huge amount of damage to him. With this slash, Remnant Void's wrist was quickly dyed red with blood. Luckily, his reaction was fast enough, and Su Yun did not cut his main artery. Only then did he manage to keep his life. In the first exchange between the two, although Remnant Sky seemed to have taken the initiative, and his beautiful Dark Shadow 7 consecutive stab had forced Su Yun into a dangerous situation. He didn't really injure Su Yun. However, Su Yun's throat-piercing strike, which seemed to have no tricks, caused Remnant Void to reveal an opening. It easily caused Remnant Void to bleed profusely. This slash had injured Remnant Void's wrist, so Remnant Void's current situation could be said to be very bad. It would more or less affect his use of his blade. Compared to playing with a dagger, I really have to admit defeat, Su Yun said indifferently. However, the second half of his sentence was, compared to playing with your life, you are not my opponent at all. However, Su Yun did not say that. He did not want to anger Remnant Void. Remnant Void was a very calm person. He would not do anything irrational because of anger. He would only be more careful because of anger. They were very clear that only by obtaining the final victory could they be considered to have the last laugh. A momentary advantage and a momentary disadvantage didn't count for much. It was no big deal. At this time, Lin Gu and Jiesu were also in a death match. Although Jiesu's dagger could not break through Lin Ji's defense, Lin Gu could not break through his opponent's attacks either. Their strength could be said to be on par with each other. During this period of time, Lin Ji's progress was also by leaps and bounds. His state of mind was approaching perfection, and he had already grasped what was called the way of controlling qi. This state of mind, which could only be obtained after breaking through the supreme power realm, allowed him to learn to face any opponent calmly. Lin Suyin thought that Lin Gu was at a disadvantage because he didn't have a weapon. However, that wasn't the case. Lin Gu and Su Yun were the same type of people. They didn't have any weapons that they could use. Thus, their strength wouldn't change much even if they didn't have a weapon. If you are a man, throw away the dagger and compete with him. Lin Suyin was not convinced. This is not fair at all. However, there was no such thing as fairness in a battle. Jiesu was not stupid enough to throw away his sharpest weapon. He was not affected by Lin Suyin at all. His eyes were still locked on Lin Gu. As long as Lin Gu made the slightest move, he would immediately react. Lin Gu had attacked too fiercely just now. He had calmed down after his unbridled madness. If he wanted to win without getting injured, he had to be careful. Jiesu's moves were soft and gentle. Every time he attacked, it was under extremely tricky circumstances. If Lin Gu was not fully focused, there was a high chance that he would be injured. Although the dagger's wounds were external, and would not cause him to lose his ability to fight like Gu Li and Yan Yi, he would still be in trouble due to blood loss. Take King Kong for example. If he did not stop the bleeding in time, he would not be able to hold on any longer. No matter what kind of expert he was, as long as he was still alive, blood loss would cause him trouble. Humans were the same. There were 4,000 to 5,000 milliliters of blood in their bodies. If they lost more than 30% of their blood, they would reach the limit of the human body's compensation and endanger their lives. If they lost more than 800 milliliters of blood, King Kong's face would turn pale, his lips would crack, he would break out in cold sweat, and his limbs would turn cold. His entire body would become weak, his breathing would become rapid, his pulse would become weak, and so on. When that happened, Su Yun would not even need to make a move. He only needed to wait for King Kong to continue losing blood. His brain would not have enough blood, and his vision would become blurry. He would become delirious until he fainted. Based on King Kong's current rate of blood loss, it would not take long for him to fall to the ground. Su Yun, if you're a man, give him time to bandage his wounds. Chang Mo could not help but speak up. As long as you agree to let him bandage his wounds, I'll do anything you want. Su Yun smiled. This is not a child's play. We all know what this is about. Battles are cruel. I won't raise a tiger just because I pity my opponent. Then you're a coward. You don't dare to fight him fair and square, Chang Mo said. Lin Suyin became angry when she heard this. Hey, are you kidding me? From the start, you guys were the ones who bullied him with numbers. Later on, you guys were also the ones who attacked first. Now that one of your people is injured, you actually want him to bandage his wounds? Do you think we're idiots? Brother Su Yun, you can't listen to them, Wu Yuandong said. They're already at their wits' end. We can't fall for their tricks. Su Yun nodded. He was not stupid. Remnant Sky had never given him a chance to catch his breath. It was impossible for him to do such a noble thing for him. Kangkong knew that Chang Mo's request was impossible. Chang Mo, think of a way to leave. This is not a place where you should stay. I don't need you to worry about me. As long as I'm still alive, I won't let my opponent look down on Heaven's Eye. No. If we're leaving together, Chang Mo said. She glared at Su Yin. You're such a coward. No matter what Chang Mo said, Su Yin would not be so generous as to give Kangkong a chance. Even if Su Yin did give him a chance, what could Kangkong do? He was still not Su Yin's opponent. Kangkong was not Su Yin's opponent even when he was not injured. Now that his wrist was injured, how could he use a move that was even more powerful than the 7 consecutive dark stab? The answer was, of course, impossible. It was impossible for Su Yin to lose. Giving Kangkong a chance to bandage his wound was just a waste of time. Su Yin knew very well that Chang Mo's Zhenqi acupoints would be unsealed soon. If Kangkong and Jiesu could not be executed by then, no one would be able to stop Chang Mo if she wanted to escape, not even Wu Yuandong. Don't struggle. A loss is a loss. Don't force yourself if you can't change the situation, Su Yin said calmly. Jiesu suddenly threw away the dagger in his hand. I'll fight with my bare fists. You give him time to bandage his wound. Although this condition seemed a little interesting, it wasn't really appropriate, right? At least, Su Yin did not think that he had taken advantage of the situation. However, Jiesu had already thrown away his dagger. If he did not do anything, it would seem like he was losing face. Are you looking down on me? Lin Ge would not let this happen. Pick it up. I'm not going to beat up an unarmed person today. You can't hurt me even if you have a dagger. You want to fight me with your bare fists? Pick it up. Jiesu had no intention of reacting. He looked at Lin Ge with determination. Lin Ge said, their problem is their problem. Our problem is ours. Don't talk about it like that. At this moment, Su Yin smiled and said to Kangkong, your brother even threw away his saber. If I still don't give him face, then I'll be stingy. Chang Mo rushed to Kangkong when she heard Su Yin's words. She tore off a piece of cloth from her clothes and started bandaging the wound on Kangkong's wrist to stop the bleeding. Kangkong took a deep breath and said to Chang Mo in a low voice, there's no point. Chang Mo, listen to me. Jiesu and I will attack at the same time. We can buy you at least a minute. You must escape in this minute. You must find our Bola and bring her back. Chang Mo's tears flowed as she bandaged Kangkong's wound. No, absolutely not. She would rather die with them than live on by herself. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.